today. And when you're looking for a roofer, there's only one name to look for, and that's Integrity. Integrity
I
Roofing.
used to love wearing dresses and shorts. Then I started getting spider veins, and even worse, those embarrassing, bulging, varicose veins. For a while, I covered up my legs. But then I discovered Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. And for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime. And most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing dresses and shorts again.
Make sure your legs look and feel their best for spring. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-375-4806. That's 800-375-4806. 800-375-4806.
Heather, my friend, you look awesome. How do you feel?
Man, Dr. Jimmy, I feel great. I've lost weight, and it's all thanks to Fat Loss DFW. I gotta say this has been the easiest way I've lost weight in my entire life. I used to struggle, and I was always hungry, but not with Fat Loss DFW.
Heather, I hear this all the time, and we understand that challenge at Fat Loss DFW. I mean, come on. How on earth are you going to stick with a plan if you feel miserable?
And with Fat Loss DFW, I don't. And sometimes I even forget that I'm on a plan because I'm eating foods that I love all the time, and I'm losing the fat.
You're down how many pounds, Heather?
I'm down 36 pounds.
Oh, that's awesome to hear, Heather. And we're hearing it every single day from more people in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Listen to me. The Nutrimost system at Fat Loss DFW works. Pick up the phone right now. Dial 844-801-THIN. That's 844-801-THIN. Or go to the web and look up fatlossdfw.com.
And the Grammy goes to... And the American Music Award goes to...
Mr. Stephen Curtis Chapman.
Hi, we're Third Day.
We're forming sort of one new band called SCC 3D.
Our sister station's doing it again. The 94.9 KLTY Concert Series welcomes Stephen Curtis Chapman with Third Day at the Verizon Theater on April 30th. Get your tickets right now at AXS.com. AXS.com.
Eric Nadell here for Savin European Sleep Systems. Why should your next mattress be a Savin organic mattress? It's more durable, no sags, no body impressions. It's more comfortable, a personalized fit for greater individualized comfort, and it's free of harmful chemicals. Designed for deeper, more restful sleep. I should know. I've slept on a Savin mattress for almost a decade. Why buy a Savin? Why would you ever consider anything else? It's simply a better mattress. Savin European Sleep Systems in Dallas and Southlake. Go to savin.com.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. Now, the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells, and yes, Donald Trump has won convincingly the New York primary. And Hillary Clinton is wiping out Bernie Sanders. Apparently, the Democrat Party is beginning to realize, hey, we're sending the wrong message with this Bernie Sanders thing. You know, if Hillary Clinton really does take out Bernie Sanders to the tune of, in this particular case, it would be almost 22 percentage points, Bernie Sanders is done. There's no doubt about that. 866-660-5759. Kasich is widening his lead for second place over Ted Cruz. Doesn't look like Ted Cruz is going to be able to get around him. In the meantime, Clinton, 61.9% of the vote. Sanders way behind. 65.7% of the vote for Donald Trump so far. That's with 12.8%. I'm sorry, that's not right. That it doesn't say what the percentage of the precincts are reporting. 38.1% does Bernie Sanders to 61.9% from Hillary Clinton. Hillary is just taking him out. Trump 65.7, Kasich 21.4, Cruz 12.9%, and Ted Cruz has gone ahead and moved on. We are waiting for Donald Trump to show up at the lectern at Trump headquarters in New York City. You should be there at some point. Don't know exactly when that's going to happen. Same story for Hillary Clinton. It does not appear as though that Hillary Clinton has been called as the Democrat winner. It's got to be coming soon. It's got to be coming soon because Hillary Clinton, I mean, no one was expecting her to take this big a lead. And once again, as soon as we find out more about what's going on with the actual percentage of precincts reporting, a call for Hillary Clinton should come pretty soon. By the way, Donald Trump has basically shaken up his command staff ahead of some more Republican primaries. He's getting serious about the possibility of winning this nomination. You know, he hired Paul Manafort a couple of weeks ago. Manafort brought along Rick Wiley. Wiley and Manafort get a $20 million budget for contests in May and June, including the vital June 7th California primary. Trump will likely face a must-win in California to have any chance of clinching the GOP nomination outright and avoiding a contested convention. Manafort was hired last month to lead Trump's push for delegates, while Wiley was hired last week by Manafort as the campaign's national political director. The shakeup is, according to the news, and this is not true, but it's reportedly alienating staff headed by campaign manager Corey Lewandowski. Listen, the people who Donald Trump has been working with are good people that believe in their candidate, but don't know American politics. Manafort and Wiley are professionals. And at some point, if you're serious about becoming the president of the United States, you're going to have to deal with professionals. Donald Trump may be an outsider, but he's smart. And he's saying, you know what? I think I might have a chance to win this, so let's go ahead and go for it. Let me get some professionals in. Let's see what happens to the campaign. If we want to see a more presidential Trump, this may be the reason why. You're listening to the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friend Josh DeShong. The real estate world of Josh DeShong sells houses when others cannot. I am living proof. Lisa and I are so thrilled with Josh. He came in and sold our house with blinding speed. You want a promise. You want somebody who's going to sit down with you and say, I promise to sell your house. Most folks won't do this. Josh will. His website is getsold.net, and he is telling you your house will get sold. How does he do this? Well, you call him at the number I'm about to give you. He sits down with you and says, let's arrive at an agreed upon price and an agreed upon time frame. If that house of yours does not sell at that price in that time frame, he, Josh DeShong, simply buys your house. That's it. You're out. You're at closing. You move on. So call him and call him today. Don't waste a day. 972-325-6644. 972-325-6644. D Magazine Best Realtor 3 years in a row. I'll love him forever. Josh DeShong, getsold.net. 972-325-6644.
Welcome back, Summer. It's a hot one. This is Nolan Ryan. Go with the pros who know how to beat Texas heat. American Standard Air. Born and bred in the Lone Star State. That's American Standard. Comfort the way you like it.
That's right, Nolan. And your trusted independent American Standard dealer is Mathis Air and Heat. Why is that? Mathis Air has been serving you and your neighbors for over 20 years. They offer 24-hour emergency service and 100% financing for 60 months and 0% interest on a new system with approved credit. So make the call today for your free in-home estimate or $49 tune-up at 972-279-4COOL. That's 972-279-4COOL. Or go to mathisair.com. That's mathisair.com. Get 0% APR for 60 months with a minimum purchase of $5,000. Call 1-888-534-6894 for details about credit costs and terms. For new accounts, the APR for purchase is 28.99%, subject to credit approval.
Do you have low back or neck pain? Does it run down your arms or your legs? Do you have a bulging or herniated disc, disc degeneration, or spinal arthritis? Even worse, have you been told you need back surgery or injections? If you answered yes, then please listen to what I have to say. My name is Dr. Chad Glines, DC, at Genesis Back and Neck.
This is a breaking news update, live on 660 AM The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. And what we've got is we've got Donald Trump headed toward the lectern as he remarks on a big win in New York City. More votes are coming in. He's got 65.6% of them. He's doing an amazing job, and what he's doing is he is getting ready to go to the lectern. What are you talking about? Yeah, I got it. Okay. So anyway, Donald Trump is making his way to the lectern, saying hi to an awful lot of very important people. This is going to be a little bit different than the ones that we've seen so far. Ivanka Trump is moving through the crowd as well, and she looks absolutely lovely. Melania is at Donald's side, and so what we're seeing now is Donald Trump coming over to the lectern. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what he has to say here tonight on 660 AM The Answer. Donald Trump.
Where you essentially have 53 elections, and it's going to be very challenging for him.
Stand by. I'm going to get back to both of you as soon as he's finished. Stand by. Let's listen to him.
People of New York, when they give us this kind of a vote, and it's just incredible. And I guess we're close to 70%, and we're going to end at a very high level and get a lot more delegates than anybody projected, even in their wildest imagination. So I just want to thank everybody here. I want to thank my family. I want to thank I really want to thank my team. My team has been amazing. And, you know, it's actually a team of unity. It's evolving, but people don't understand that. The press does understand it. They just don't want to talk about it. That's okay. Just keep talking. It's very important. Keep talking. But this has been an incredible evening. It's been an incredible day and week. We went all over New York State. New York State has problems like virtually every other state in the union. Our jobs are being sucked out of our states. They're being taken out of our country, and we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're going to stop it. Very importantly, and behind me, I have to say, we have some of our great businessmen of the world. Carl Icahn is here someplace. Where's Carl? Howard Lorber, Ben LeBeau, the great Steve Roth. Steve's building a big building on Central Park South. It's a tremendous success. I said, Steve, congratulations on the building. He said, Donald, it's nothing compared to what's happening with you. Is that right, my man? So anyway, we're proud of him. But we have our great leaders, and it has been really something. It has been really something amazing. And believe me, we are going to use our great business people to negotiate unbelievable trade deals so we bring our jobs back and we don't let our companies go to Mexico and all of these other countries anymore. We're going to keep the jobs here. You're going to be very proud of this country very soon. We're going to build our military bigger, better, stronger than ever before. Nobody is going to mess with us. That I can tell you. We're going to take care of our vets. Our vets are great people, and we have forgotten our vets. Illegal immigrants are taken care of in many cases better than our vets. That's not going to happen anymore. That is not going to happen. We're getting rid of Obamacare. It's going to be repealed and replaced. It is a total disaster with premiums going up 35, 45, 55%. It's going to probably end of its own volition. We're getting rid of it. We're bringing Common Core. We're knocking it out. We're cutting it. It's going to be over, and we're bringing education locally. Local communities are going to take care of their educational needs, and people have been waiting for that for a long time. So with all of the things that have happened today, tonight, and over the week, I'll tell you what, this has been an amazing week. All over New York State. We went to Syracuse. We went to Albany, 20,000 people. I mean, on average, we'd have 15 to 20,000 people. We went to Rochester. We went to Bethpage. We went all over. And you know what? The people of this country and the people of this state truly are great and amazing people. We are going to be so strong again. We are going to be really, I mean, legitimately so great again. And I just can't wait. So we don't have much of a race anymore based on what I'm seeing on television. Senator Cruz is just about mathematically eliminated. And we've won another state. As you know, we have won millions of more votes than Senator Cruz, millions and millions of more votes than Governor Kasich. We've won, and now, especially after tonight, close to 300 delegates more than Senator Cruz. We're really, really rocking. We expect we're going to have an amazing number of weeks because these are places and they're in trouble. They're in big trouble. When you look at Pennsylvania, when you look at Indiana, when you look at Maryland and Rhode Island and so many places, we have problems everywhere you look. We are going to solve those problems. And one of the big problems is the economy and jobs, and that is my wheelhouse. So, again, I want to thank everybody. It's really nice to win the delegates with the votes. You know, it's really nice. Nope. Nobody should be given delegates, which is a ticket to victory, and it's not a fair ticket. And even though we're leading by a lot and we can't be caught, it's impossible to catch us. Nobody should take delegates and claim victory unless they get those delegates with voters and voting. And that's what's going to happen. And you watch, because the people aren't going to stand for it. It's a crooked system. It's a system that's rigged. And we're going to go back to the old way. It's called you vote and you win. So we'll be going into the convention no matter what happens. And I think we're going to go in so strong. And over the next number of weeks, we just saw a poll come out of California, which is an unbelievable poll. But we're going to go into the convention, I think, as the winner. But nobody can take an election away with the way they're doing it in the Republican Party. And by the way, I am no fan of Bernie. But I've seen Bernie win, and then I watch, and they say he has no chance of winning. So they have their superdelegate. The Republican system is worse. So I want to just thank everybody. I have great admiration and praise for the city of New York and the state of New York. I can think of nowhere that I would rather have this victory. So we love you all. Have a great evening. We celebrate. And tomorrow morning, we go back to work. I'm flying tomorrow morning. To Indiana. I'm going to Pennsylvania. I will be all over. So we're going to celebrate for about 2 hours. Then early in the morning, I get up and we begin working again. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, New York. We love New York. We love New York. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
All right, so there you go. That is Donald Trump triumphant in victory. And by the way, while he was speaking, the network news people have projected Hillary Clinton to be the winner of the New York Democrat primary. Now with 60.6% of the vote, Bernie Sanders down at a 39.4% number. This with approximately 39% of the precincts reporting. That's a big number. If Hillary Clinton can defeat Bernie Sanders by double digits, I mean, you know, this is truly over, at least on the Democrat side. I wouldn't be surprised if Bernie Sanders doesn't fold it up tonight. I don't know why he would stay. I don't have any idea why he would stay. 866-660-5759 is our telephone number. 866-660-5759. Hillary Clinton will be doubtless making a victory speech at some point. We'll carry that, as we certainly want to hear what she has to say regarding.
Screamer?
Yeah. You got to be nice now. You got to be nice.
An ice creamer?
Well, yeah, an ice creamer. Yeah. Okay. So what Magic Matt is talking to me about in my ear, you can't hear it because, you know, he's in broadcasting. He's a sports play-by-play god, but he's shy. He doesn't want to be on a show. You know, so what he does is he yaks at me over the intercom, the IFB. So what he says is that is he says that Hillary is someone who screams a lot, that harsh and raspy voice. Well, anybody who criticizes Hillary's voice is obviously some kind of sexist male who is giving her gas about her voice. And what ends up happening is that nobody ever says anything to her, because obviously it's not her fault that she sounds like this. I mean, it's like, Hillary, stop. Just speak. Let the microphone do all the work, Hillary. Stop yelling at the top of your lungs. Now, this is hard to do because what Hillary's about to do, like, for example, we've got a picture of Clinton headquarters in New York City. She's in a room filled with probably, 1,000 people? The temptation is to talk to those 1,000 people instead of the millions who are watching on television. If you talk to the millions watching on television, the people, the 1,000 in the room, they don't know the difference. But if you talk to the 1,000 in the room instead of the millions on television, everybody notices. See, this is just a small little thing you need to know. It's one of those fine points about being someone who is in the limelight. You gotta know who you're talking to. Let me talk to Marcia in Denton. Marcia Denton, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Jon-David. I was just listening to Trump's victory speech, and it was okay until the end. He said that the Republican way of doing things, they're corrupt, and they've got to change this way of voting. And can you explain to me how is it going to go? Are they going to not vote the way it's always been done?
What do you? Here's what's going to happen. Donald Trump is either going to have all the delegates he needs, 1,237, which is 50% plus one. Okay, he's going to have all the delegates he needs, or he's going to have most of the delegates he needs. All of this talk, Marcia, about this contested convention is technical. In other words, it may be technically a contested convention, but if Donald Trump shows up with, he needs 1,237, let's say he shows up with 1,100. Okay? The rules in Florida say that the delegates are pledged to the people that they are pledged to, not just the first ballot, but the second and third ballots as well. That's enough to push him over the edge. That's enough to push him over the top. So if he doesn't win it on the first ballot, he will win it on the second ballot. Because no matter what kind of legerdemain is done in the background, what will end up happening is that Donald Trump will have enough votes to get the nomination. Now, what happens after that? Now, this is assuming, say, for example, that Ted Cruz is not able to win California outright. If Ted Cruz, for example, were able to win in California outright, that would put a completely different complexion on the entire race. Because suddenly, Ted Cruz would be in a position where all of a sudden he is, he's really pushing Donald Trump for all he's worth, because he'd have almost enough votes to have the nomination himself. The interesting thing about this, by the way, and I'm going to throw this out here for whatever it's worth, and feel free to comment on it. Why in heaven's name would anybody but Ted Cruz win in California? Haven't we heard for most of the last 10 years how important the Hispanic vote is? How absolutely dominant Hispanic voters are in the conventional way of things? I read something the other day that says, yeah, okay, there are a lot of Hispanic voters and so on, but they don't turn out. They don't cast votes. They just sort of say, well, we feel this way, but don't cast votes, which is sort of like what liberal kids do. Except it's even worse with liberal kids. It's like 30% of them turn out to vote. But with all this vaunted ballyhoo about the Hispanic vote, why would they not vote for Ted Cruz? Remember, the reason that we're turning our entire legal system on its head is because we don't want to upset Hispanic voters who are here in the country legally for expecting Hispanic voters or Hispanic people that are in the country illegally from being offended. Seriously. You know, none of this makes any sense. By the way, the vote looks like this for Donald Trump, 62.8%, 23.0% now for John Kasich. Ted Cruz has 14.2%. Ted Cruz is hanging in there. I don't know whether Ted is speaking or not. I don't think he's in New Hampshire because they've already voted. So he's someplace else. He's moving on. Yeah, Pennsylvania. Yeah, he's got a chance in Pennsylvania. Ted Cruz has a chance in Pennsylvania. We'll see whether or not he's able to win. But it seems to me that he should have a very big chance to win in California.
With this third place showing by Cruz, does this hurt him? And if so, how much?
I don't think it actually hurts him insofar as for all of us outside of, say, for example, the inter-party workings or what have you, because he really wasn't expected. He wasn't expected to beat Donald Trump, and most people had decided that John Kasich was going to be able to beat him. I think that Ted Cruz was much maligned over his New York values statement. And I think that too much was made out of that. But once again, it's a statement of New York values that once you get the ball rolling, once you get the avalanche of outrage going in New York, it becomes an avalanche of outrage. I mean, that's what New Yorkers do. I mean, that's another New York value. You know, if you can get everybody lined up behind you in New York, you never lose. And that's apparently what has happened with Ted Cruz. He got the exact opposite of that effect. You're listening to the Wells Report, live coverage of the New York primary on 660 AM The Answer.
Howdy, folks. Crazy Gun Dealer here, and if I got another crazy below dealer cost gun deal for you. Heritage 22 revolvers, only $99 while they last with ammo purchase. And as always, they still come with free CHL classes, free lifetime warranty, free range membership, and free test firing with most handgun purchases. And if that's not already enough, if we don't already have the best gun prices you've found anywhere, we'll beat any price gun to gun, or we'll give you the gun for free. Because nobody wants your gun business more than the Crazy Gun Dealer. We're at 5301 East Highway 67 in Alvarado, or you can check us out at crazygundealer.com, or follow us and get a freebie by texting CRAZY to 24587, or just give us a call at 855-329-4867. That's 855-329-GUNS. And don't forget, we pay more for your gun whether you want to sell, trade, or just get a loan.
All offers and promotions subject to change or restrictions. See store for complete details.
Have you been holding out for a good deal to replace that old AC system? Well, now there's a new program you just can't pass up. I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. You may have already heard that you can save over $3,500 on a new Infinity system with Carrier's Cool Cash, but did you know that for a limited time, you can also get an additional $1,800 off from your utility provider? That's right. And when you combine these two programs, we're talking saving over $5,000 on a brand new AC system that can cut your electric bill in half. But the utility funds are limited, and the program will end when the money runs out. Right now, we're scheduling free estimates on a first-come, first-served basis. So call now. Better yet, call 2 other companies first, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Call 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437, or visit us online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Are you being denied credit? Are you paying high interest rates? At creditrepair.com, we know life happens. Divorce, medical bills, student loans, and many other reasons why credit scores fall. That's why at creditrepair.com, we're committed to helping folks get the second chance they deserve to improve their credit.
CreditRepair.com is actually acting as an advocate for me. Things that I thought when you paid them off, they were still on there. Things that I didn't even know were on there, but they got them removed. I feel they're doing what they said they'd do and beyond. I'm not going to abuse this second chance that they gave me. I'm in the process now of buying a home. CreditRepair.com actually does work.
We can help you get a second chance at great credit. The consultation is free and includes a free credit score and summary credit report. We'll review your current credit situation right on the phone with a game plan to restore it. Call 800-231-1735. That's 800-231-1735. Again, 800-231-1735. 800-231-1735.
If these recent storms have given your roof a beating, call on Integrity Roofing to fix it right. Integrity Roofing Company is your trusted solution. When storms roll in, so do the fly-by-night companies. Protect yourself from these storm chasers and go with Integrity, a locally owned company who weathered these storms with you. Your home and livelihood is the most important thing you own. And because of that, you need a company with a name that you can rely on. A name like Integrity. The storms this year have already handed out their fair share of damage, and more will be on the way. So contact Integrity Roofing today for a free roof evaluation. Go to integrityroofingcompany.com. That's integrityroofingcompany.com. And rest assured that your roof will be repaired by a dependable, reputable, and knowledgeable professional. integrityroofingcompany.com. Contact them today for your free roof evaluation before another storm comes through. Get a roof that will last and stand up to the elements. Integrity Roofing. Do it with integrity.
The year is not so new anymore, but your carpets can look that way with Zero Res. Hey, Mark Davis, my friends at Zero Res just gave me a fantastic carpet cleaning, and I'm offering it to you. $33 a room. $33 a room by calling 214-37-CLEAN. Then, plus 100 square feet of tile cleaning for free and a $50 gift card from Estilo Gaucho. It is pre-treated, clean, and sanitized. Best carpet cleaning ever from my friends at Zero Res. $33 a room. Call them now for the special. 214-37-CLEAN for Zero Res. 214-37-CLEAN.
Looking for a way for you and your family to enjoy the beautiful spring weather this weekend? Then head to the H2 Grow Spring Living Festival in Mansfield on Saturday, April 23rd. Held at the Mansfield Service Center on 620 South Wisteria from 10 to 4 p.m. Come check out do-it-yourself presentations, including one by the Dirt Doctor himself, Howard Garrett. There's no better way to celebrate spring than at the H2 Grow Festival. Crafts, kids activities, fishing derby, and even a plant sale. So come out this Saturday to the Mansfield Service Center on 620 South Wisteria for the H2 Grow Spring Living Festival.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report. Must hear radio on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. And so Hillary and Donald Trump are big winners in New York. Taking a look at the voting, Hillary is still walloping Bernie Sanders, 60.1% of the vote to 39.9%, a 20% victory margin so far, as Hillary's as the race for the Democrat nomination and Democrat delegates has already been called in favor of Hillary Clinton. She is expected to make a victory speech coming up in just a couple of seconds. We'll bring that to you here on 660 AM The Answer. By the way, if you are someone dealing with Obamacare and you happen to have a health plan through United Health, enjoy it while you've got it. Because fearing financial losses, huge financial losses, United Health announced today it plans to pull out of Obamacare. United Health CEO Stephen Helmsley said the company expects losses from its exchange business to total more than $1 billion for the last 2 years. Despite the company expanding to nearly 3 dozen state exchanges for this year, Helmsley said the company cannot continue to broadly serve the market created by the Affordable Care Act's coverage expansion, due partly to the higher risk that comes with its customers. Unbelievable. So it looks as though Obamacare is still beginning to sink under its own political weight. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Hey, everybody, Mark Davis. Let's talk about life after 40, a land I've occupied for a good while. Yeah, remember 32? Both age and waist size? Yep, seems like a while. Hair now vanishing where you want it and cropping up where you don't. Reading glasses, ugh. You used to be able to see like a champ, but now you're lucky to read past a headline without holding it at arm's length. And don't get me started on text messages and restaurant menus. Now when you head to the store for a six-pack, it's probably a six-pack of reading glasses. A pair in the car, two on the desk, some in your pocket, one by the bed, and you can never find them where you need them. You are bummed. There's nothing you can do but wait. You are not stuck with the reading glasses. Climb an Evangelista Eye Center with the corneal inlay procedure. The corneal inlay. Learn more at myinlay.com. Specially designed for over 40 reading vision. So quit complaining. Do something about it. The corneal inlay at Climb an Evangelista Eye Center. 1-800-714-2020. 1-800-714-2020. Or myinlay, my-I-N-L-A-Y, myinlay.com.
From Plano to Denton down to Louisville too. Huffine's has it. Also in McKinney, we'll prove it to you. Huffine's has it.
And now get more truck for your buck during Ram Truck Month at Huffine's Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Plano and Huffine's Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Louisville. Get Texas-size savings on Huffine's Texas-size selection of new Ram trucks. And Huffine's will save you even more with huge cash rebates, super low financing, and guaranteed top dollar for your trade. So for Texas-size savings on a Texas-size selection of new Ram trucks and all the other Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge cars and SUVs, Huffine's has it. At Huffine's Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Plano, at Ohio and Coit Road. In Louisville, Huffine's Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram on I-35, just north of 121, or online 24/7 at huffines.net.
Huffine's has it.
Veterans have given us the freedoms we live by each day. That's why Starkey Mortgage and 660 AM The Answer bring you the Veteran of the Month. If you know a veteran who deserves this honor, then go to 660amtheanswer.com and nominate them to be the 660 AM The Answer Starkey Mortgage Veteran of the Month. Winners will visit the studio, meet hosts Mark Davis and Jon-David Wells, and receive a prize from Starkey Mortgage. Go to 660amtheanswer.com to nominate your veteran. Starkey Mortgage is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2146. This is not a commitment to lend. Specific underwriting guidelines must be met.
60 AM The Answer. KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio. I'm Jane Metzler. Fox News projecting Donald Trump the winner of New York's Republican primary and Hillary Clinton the winner on the Democratic side. Trump saying a short time ago,
It's just incredible. And I guess we're close to 70%, and we're going to end at a very high level and get a lot more delegates than anybody projected, even in their wildest imaginations.
Fox projecting John Kasich finishing second ahead of Ted Cruz. And one New York borough reports of voting irregularities.
Election officials saying that maybe over 125,000 Democrats in the borough of Brooklyn were denied the right to vote. Mayor de Blasio says he's investigating. African-American leaders say they're concerned. That's important. Remember, recent polls have showed that Hillary Clinton has a massive edge with African-American voters here in the state of New York.
Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM The Answer.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Well, it doesn't have to. Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity with your solution and the one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. On average, Josh sells a home every 32 hours and averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. He spends 200 times more money on marketing than the average agent. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net.
You know it's coming. Triple-digit temperatures in Texas. Hey, Mark Davis and my friends at Walker AC. Think your air conditioning unit can handle that? If your AC is 10 to 15 years old, experts say it's just a matter of time before that thing is going to fail. Why wait for it to die? This spring, catch great deals with Trane's early bird sale now through May 30th. Buy a qualifying system from Walker Air Conditioning and Heating. Get special financing till January 2021. or choose a trade-in allowance of up to $1,000. Plus, get the exceptional service and reliability you only get from a trained dealer. Call Walker Air Conditioning and Heating, 972-4-WALKER, 972-4-WALKER, for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions, subject to credit approval. That number again, 972-4-WALKER, 972-4-WALKER. Save now. Train's early bird sale. Walker Air Conditioning and Heating, WalkerAC.com. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. They're my air conditioning company. Walker AC and Heating and Train, because remember, it's hard to stop a train. 972-4-WALKER, 972-4-WALKER, WalkerAC.com.
Spring cleaning time, man, out with the old and in with the new. It's when we all take a walk around the house and look at all of those things that have deteriorated over the last 5 months. We're all cave dwellers at heart. The ideal situation is to make your cave as airtight as possible. The way that you do that is with vinyl replacement windows. You come in, you pull out those leaky old windows. One of the things about Texas is it is just miserably hot sometimes. One of the greatest things you can do is make it to where that heat just stays outside. There's absolutely never been a better time to invest in yourself and your home instead of the electric company. My name is Dave Trainer, and the name of my company is The Window Connection. I would value the opportunity to come to your home and let you know what new vinyl replacement windows can really do to help you and your family.
Call the Window Connection for an estimate at 972-620-1994. That's 972-620-1994. Or go online to thewindowconnection.net.
Welcome back, summer. It's a hot one. This is Nolan Ryan. Go with the pros who know how to beat Texas heat. American Standard Air. Born and bred in the Lone Star State. That's American Standard. Comfort the way you like it.
That's right, Nolan. And your trusted independent American Standard dealer is Mathis Air and Heat. Why is that? Mathis Air has been serving you and your neighbors for over 20 years. They offer 24-hour emergency service and 100% financing for 60 months and 0% interest on a new system with approved credit. So make the call today for your free in-home estimate or $49 tune-up at 972-279-4COOL. That's 972-279-4COOL. Or go to mathisair.com. That's mathisair.com. Get 0% APR for 60 months with a minimum purchase of $5,000. Call 1-888-534-6894 for details about credit costs and terms. For new accounts, the APR for purchase is 28.99%, subject to credit approval.
I used to love wearing dresses and shorts. Then I started getting spider veins, and even worse, those embarrassing, bulging, varicose veins. For a while, I covered up my legs, but then I discovered Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. And for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing dresses and shorts again.
Make sure your legs look and feel their best for spring. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-375-4806. That's 800-375-4806. 800-375-4806.
And the Grammy goes to. And the American Music Award goes to.
Mr. Stephen Curtis Chapman.
The third day. We're forming sort of one new band called SCC 3D.
Our sister station's doing it again. The 94.9 KLTY Concert Series welcomes Stephen Curtis Chapman with Third Day at the Verizon Theater on April 30th. Get your tickets right now at AXS.com. AXS.com.
660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. So Donald Trump wins the Republican primary, the Republican side of the New York primary. And Hillary Clinton wins the Democrat side of the New York primary, and putting a serious smackdown on Bernie Sanders. So what's going to end up happening here is I'm thinking, you think Bernie's going to quit? I mean, he doesn't have anything left. He truly doesn't. He doesn't have a prayer. I would expect that Hillary Clinton is probably, as we speak, probably working on trying to get him out of the race, which wouldn't surprise me one bit. We are expecting her to step up to her lectern and make a victory speech. She's got a pretty good story to tell. Like I said, Bernie Sanders has 40.8% of the vote. Hillary Clinton now 59.8% of the vote. By the way, Ted Cruz distantly behind John Kasich, almost 10 percentage points behind John Kasich for second place in New York. Like I said, we will cover this for you in just a little bit here on 660 AM The Answer. I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned about some of the things that are going on having to do with Saudi Arabia and 9/11. Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know that Dr. Allen was going to join us. Fantastic. Dr. Alan Sachs joins us. Sir, welcome to the Wells Report.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine. There's a little bit of buzz in your phone, but we've come to expect that from your telephone. It's like
it's me buzzing. It's not the telephone, it's me.
He is Dr. Alan Sachs is the poli-sci professor for UT Arlington. Is that correct, Doctor?
51 years.
51 years at UT
Don't
Arlington.
ask me how old I am.
Well,
I started there when I was 11.
Yeah, he started there when he was 4. Dr. Sachs, so let's talk a little bit about the New York primary. And by the way, thanks very much for making time for us.
Thank you. It's always it's lots of fun. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. So talk to us a little bit about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, I think, was expecting to win, but
he won bigger than people thought.
Yes, he certainly did. Tell us what you think about that.
Well, most of the polls showed about 52, 53%. Initially, he started off at about 50%, and I thought that's going to be really good for Donald Trump. It looks like now, if it holds, it'll be about over 60%, 61, 62%. John Kasich comes in a very distant number 2. Ted Cruz, a very distant number 3. And I think it's going to pump up the Trump campaign. They had a bad couple of weeks. I have a strange theory. I think the theory is that Donald Trump is a professional wrestler. He's borrowed a script from professional wrestling. Look at how he calls people names. It is Lion Ted. It is Little Marco. Yesterday he coined a new phrase for Hillary Clinton. It doesn't rhyme as well. What is it? Crooked Hillary. And he has a name for everybody. And if you see him at his rallies with his hair, he really gets the crowd revved up. He, speaks to them. He waves his hands around. He yells at people in the audience, take him out, take him out. It's like a professional wrestling match. But when he gets out of the ring, he's a different person. And tonight, I think he got out of the ring and he became a different person.
Fascinating. Dr. Alan Sachs, our guest, poli-sci professor, political science professor at UT Arlington. That is an interesting point. You would have to say that he's certainly borrowing from that world. And if you go to some of the sexist things he said, that would certainly comport with the idea that pro wrestling is basically a male-oriented soap opera.
If you look at some YouTube videos, if you look at some YouTube videos, you'll find Donald Trump there, and guess what he's doing? Professional wrestling. He's with Vince McMahon, I think is his name, from WWE. And they have a billionaire wrestling match. They're signing a contract. It is really interesting to see Vince McMahon, a billionaire, Donald Trump, a billionaire, in a ring. And then there's another YouTube video that actually shows Donald Trump as sort of as a wrestler in the ring. I think he really is playing. He's a showman.
Yeah.
But all politicians are showmen. What Donald Trump needed to do is to energize his base, so to speak, and he's done that well. The problem is, if he gets the nomination, and I think he's on the way to doing it, will he be able to unite the Republican Party? And that's a big if. There's a lot of people that love Ted Cruz because he's a conservative's conservative, and they can't give up on him, and they don't like Donald Trump. And I'm thinking of people like Mark Levin, a great radio talk show personality himself, but he's beaten up on Donald Trump so badly and in so much in favor of Ted Cruz because he's the essential conservative that somehow, if Donald Trump gets the nomination, that hopefully Donald Trump be able to unite all these individuals around him. And that's going to be a big chore.
Dr. Alan Sachs is our guest. He's the poli-sci professor at UT Arlington. I understand what you're saying. I'm a Ted Cruz fan myself. I voted for Ted Cruz because I believe in constitutional conservatism, and I believe that Ted Cruz is that guy. And I am very concerned indeed that if we elect Donald Trump to be the president of the United States, especially if he grabs somebody like John Kasich as his vice president, or even Marco Rubio as his vice president, then that will signal essentially another win for the moderate Republican Party. Do you see that?
I agree. Who Donald Trump picks, if again he gets the nomination, as his running mate is really critical. There's even an outside chance that he could pick Ted Cruz. I don't know if Ted Cruz would want to be his vice president. I have another theory, and this is not as wild as you think, and it's nothing in the Constitution to prohibit it. They could divide up responsibilities, almost have a dual presidency. That actually was discussed some years ago, I think among the Republicans, and it's not as wild as you think. Donald Trump goes to Ted Cruz and says, look, I know we have different constituencies, we have different strengths, different weaknesses. I'm going to be president. You're going to be vice president. But essentially, it's going to be a co-executive office. You're going to do this. I'm going to do this. And there's nothing in the Constitution that would prohibit that from happening.
Well, you're exactly right. And not only that, that is exactly what John and Robert Kennedy did when John Kennedy was elected president in 1960.
That's right. He gave his brother amazing responsibilities. And his brother, I think, was Attorney General at that particular time.
He was.
And you're absolutely right. That could be done. And to signal that to the Republican Party, this is going to be a strange ticket, but let me tell you how we're going to work it out. And I think that might unify the Republican Party. Whoever they get, they're going to be up against a strong Democratic Party. As you well know, there's only really a couple of states in play. The country is so divided between red and blue, I guess. Is it red and blue? I get mixed up.
It is red and blue.
I get mixed up. I don't know where they get these numbers from. Mark Davis one time said, where do they get this red and blue from? Do you think that they would ever put red as the Democrats? Very doubtful.
Well, as a matter of fact, it used to be that way. And until I believe it was in the 1970s that they switched it.
If
and
Bernie Sanders ever got the nomination,
it would have to be red again.
It would have to be red again.
Absolutely, it would. Absolutely, it would. So we are speaking with Dr. Alan Sachs, poli-sci professor for UT Arlington. Doctor, so let's talk a little bit more about the Democrat side of this. Hillary Clinton was not expecting to beat Bernie Sanders in New York to this level. This was something that was such a surprise, in fact, that they held off on announcing Hillary's victory because they thought that suddenly Sanders was going to come barreling back when some of the other precincts, but he has been almost 20 points behind Hillary all night long.
And he is right now. It's about 59 to 40 some odd percent for Bernie Sanders. That's Hillary's state, and she has the organization. That's where the organization counts, and that is the Clintons' great skill because they've been in New York for many, many years. They have it well organized, and it's coming out now. It is showing. But Bernie Sanders had the crowds, and Hillary Clinton has the organization. The organization won. But if she gets a nomination, and there's no question about it, she's going to get the Democratic nomination. She's going to require Bernie Sanders, ask, plead for Bernie to help her in the campaign in the fall. And he'll eventually become the dutiful Democrat and do it because he's going to bring over the young people. And Hillary's going to need the young people as President Obama did in the general election. So Bernie's going to be out there campaigning in the fall for Hillary Clinton.
So the only thing that I can say on that is that what do you make of a Democrat Party that appears to be 50% socialist?
It's startling. It really is. It's startling, and quite frankly, from my perspective, rather depressing. If you ask a lot of young people what does socialism mean, they don't know. They honestly have no idea what it means. They're very young. They have no information about the Soviet Union, what it meant. If you ask them who Vladimir Lenin was, or Joseph Stalin, or Trotsky, they have no idea. Some do, but the majority do not. So those are the kinds of issues I think that younger people need to be educated about. What does it mean, communism? What does socialism mean? And Bernie Sanders gets mad when somebody calls him a communist. But some of his rhetoric, which, by the way, a lot of the media has not picked up on, in one of the early debates, he used some rhetoric that was right out of communist language.
Yes.
He says he calls them vulture capitalists.
Yes.
Vulture capitalists.
Yes.
That's a term that probably the old communists used many years ago. And it startled me when he used it, vulture capitalist.
Interesting. Dr. Sachs, listen, thank you so much for your time. Hillary Clinton is stepping up to give us her version of a victory speech, and we want to join that from her New York City headquarters. Hillary Clinton, winner of the New York primary for the Democrats.
Thank you, New York. Thank you all so much. Thank you. You know, today you proved once again there's no place like home. You know, in this campaign, we've won in every region of the country. From the north to the south, to the east, to the west, but this one's personal. New Yorkers, you've always had my back. And I've always tried to have yours. Today, together, we did it again, and I am deeply, deeply grateful. I want to thank everyone who came out and voted, and to all of you across New York who've known me and worked with me for so long. It is humbling. It's humbling that you'd trust me with the awesome responsibilities that await our next president. And to all the people who supported Senator Sanders, I believe there is much more that unites us than divides us. You know, we started this race not far from here on Roosevelt Island, pledging to build on the progressive tradition that's done so much for America, from Franklin Roosevelt to Barack Obama. And tonight, a little less than a year later, the race for the Democratic nomination is in the home stretch and victory is in sight. And I want to say to all of my supporters and all of the voters, You have carried us every step of the way with passion and determination that some critics tried to dismiss. Because of you, this campaign is the only one, Democrat or Republican, to win more than 10 million votes. But I'm going forward because more voices remain to be heard, and tomorrow it's on to Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, and beyond. We need you to keep volunteering. I hope you will join the 1.1 million people who've already contributed at HillaryClinton.com. And by the way, most with less than $100, because we have more work to do. Under the bright lights of New York, we have seen that it's not enough to diagnose problems. You have to explain how you'd actually solve the problems. That's what we have to do together for our kids, for each other, for our country. So I want you with me to imagine a tomorrow where no barriers hold you back and all of our people can share in the promise of America. Imagine a tomorrow where every parent can find a good job and every grandparent can enjoy a secure retirement. Where no child grows up in the shadow of discrimination or under the specter of deportation. Where hard work is honored, families are supported, and communities are strong. A tomorrow where we trust and respect each other despite our differences. Because we're going to make positive differences in people's lives. That is what this is supposed to be about, actually helping people and each other. Now, we all know. We all know too many people who are still hurting. I see it everywhere I go. The Great Recession wiped out jobs, homes, and savings, and a lot of Americans haven't yet recovered. But I still believe with all my heart that, as another great Democratic president once said, there's nothing wrong with America that can't be cured by what's right with America. That is, after all, what we've always done. It's who we are. America is a problem-solving nation. And in this campaign, we are setting bold, progressive goals backed up by real plans that will improve lives, creating more good jobs that provide dignity and pride in a middle-class life, raising wages and reducing inequality, making sure all our kids get a good education no matter what zip code they live in. Building ladders of opportunity and empowerment so all of our people can go as far as their hard work and talent will take them. Let's revitalize places that have been left out and left behind, from inner cities to coal country to Indian country. And let's put Americans to work rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure, including our failing water systems like the one in Flint, Michigan.
You're listening to Hillary Clinton, her victory speech after winning the New York Democrat primary on 660 AM.
There
The
are
Answer.
many places across our country where children and families are at risk from the water they drink and the air they breathe. Let's combat climate change and make America the clean energy superpower of the 21st century. Let's take on the challenge of systemic racism. Invest in communities of color. And finally, pass comprehensive immigration reform. And once and for all, let's guarantee equal pay for women. And we are going to keep our families safe and our country strong, and we're going to defend our rights. Civil rights, voting rights, workers' rights, women's rights, LGBT rights, and rights for people with disabilities. Those are, after all, New York values, and they are American values. And just as we did in this primary campaign, we need to stand up for them through the general election and every day after that. You know, it's becoming clearer that this may be one of the most consequential elections of our lifetimes.
Hey, Jon-David.
Donald Trump and Ted Cruz are pushing a vision for America that's divisive and frankly dangerous. Returning to trickle-down economics, opposing any increase in the minimum wage, restricting a woman's right to make her own health care decisions, promising to round up millions of immigrants, threatening to ban all Muslims from entering the country, planning to treat American Muslims like criminals. These things go against everything America stands for. And we have a very different vision. It's about lifting each other up, not tearing each other down. So instead of building walls, we're going to break down barriers. And in this campaign, I've seen again our remarkable diversity and determination. This is a state and a country of big-hearted, open-minded, straight-talking, hard-working people. You know, like John, a firefighter from the South Bronx that I met shortly after 9/11 as he searched for survivors at Ground Zero. And like so many others, John got sick from breathing the toxic air. When we met again last week, he gave me a replica of his FDNY badge and thanked me for helping our first responders get the health care they need. We have to keep fighting for John and all of our firefighters and our police officers, our emergency responders, and the construction workers who did so much for us. For Maxine, a 27-year-old single mom from Staten Island who's here tonight. She shared with me how she worked her way out of poverty, graduated from college, thanks in part to the help she got for her child from the Children's Health Insurance Program that we started in the 1990s. Or Mikey from Stuyvesant Town, who spent, is Mikey here? Well, I'll tell you, Mikey spent 6 months in Rikers for low-level drug offense. And he found out how hard it is for people who've done their time to find jobs when they get out. Mikey managed to start his own ice cream shop. I took a lot of you in reality or through the media there yesterday. I highly recommend it. As you might have seen, I couldn't stop myself from eating it as soon as I got it. By the way, he made a concoction for me called Victory. But Mikey is one of the many reasons why we have to reform our criminal justice system and ban the box so others have a fair chance to succeed. You know, New Yorkers and Americans speak every language, follow every faith, hail from every continent. Our diversity is one of our greatest strengths in the 21st century, not a weakness. As Robert Kennedy, whose Senate seat I was honored to hold, once said, "We are a great country, an unselfish country, and a compassionate country." And no matter what anyone tells you or what you might hear from others running for president, that is still true today. America is great, and we can do great things if we do them together. So please join us. Text JOIN 47246. Go to HillaryClinton.com.
All right, Hillary Clinton live from her New York City headquarters talking about her win in the New York primary today. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer. And so that's the main business of the evening, as big wins by both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. In fact, Donald Trump, 59.7% of the vote in New York City. Clinton with 58.1%. And indeed, Bernie Sanders at 41.9% of the vote. That's a double-digit win, something that Hillary Clinton supporters did not think would happen. In fact, she was very concerned about being able to beat Bernie Sanders at all. That was not an issue. You're listening to the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer. Coming up in just a couple of moments, we're going to spend some time discussing what I think is a very important political thing having to do with the Saudis. We've got that next on 660 AM The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Good Feet. One of the reasons it's such a joy to hang out with these folks is they have such great stories of helping people who have tried other things that did not work. And getting out of foot pain is a thing of joy to behold. Ask them at Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake, the 3 locations of Good Feet, or go to goodfeetdfw.com. Listen, as one of the good folks at Good Feet talks about what it's like to help people, to watch them come in for a solution that actually works.
For most of the people that walk in our store, it's been an ongoing, nonstop issue. They're searching, they're grasping at straws because they've been trying other products and they've bought something that they thought was going to help solve their problem, and it didn't.
The good people of Good Feet with solutions that are real, not the plasticky gel, one size fits most nonsense. Nope, but the sizes, the styles for men, for women. Get out of pain today. That foot pain can become back pain, hip pain, leg pain. GoodFeetDFW.com, Plano, Fort Worth, or Southlake. GoodFeetDFW.com. Check them out today.
Calling all business owners. Are you running your business without being incorporated? If you answered yes, you are now eligible to incorporate in just 10 minutes. It's a quick incorporation event from Incorporate.com, designed to save small business owners from the risk of losing everything. Just call this number for your free 10-minute incorporation guide. 1-800-300-5124. If you're not incorporated, it's not just your business that can be sued. It's you, too, which means you could lose everything. Your home, your car, even your life savings. That's why small business owners across the country are now scrambling to incorporate during this event. Call now for your free 10-minute incorporation guide while supplies last. 1-800-300-5124. Incorporate.com doesn't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating or forming an LLC quick and easy. But hurry and call now while they're still giving these 10-minute incorporation guides away for free. Call 1-800-300-5124. That's 1-800-300-5124.
Welcome back, Summer. It's a hot one. This is Nolan Ryan. Go with the pros who know how to beat Texas heat. American Standard Air. Born and bred in Lone Star State. That's American Standard. Comfort the way you like it.
That's right, Nolan. And your trusted independent American Standard dealer is Mathis Air and Heat. Why is that? Mathis Air has been serving you and your neighbors for over 20 years. They offer 24-hour emergency service and 100% financing for 60 months and 0% interest on a new system with approved credit. So make the call today for your free in-home estimate or $49 tune-up at 972-279-4COOL. That's 972-279-4COOL. Or go to mathisair.com. That's mathisair.com. Get 0% APR for 60 months with a minimum purchase of $5,000. Call 1-888-534-6894 for details about credit costs and terms. For new accounts, the APR for purchase is 28.99%, subject to credit approval.
What is Pink Impact?
I followed my heart and showed up to Pink Impact. I just had a moment with God and I just came out a completely different person. God healed me at Pink Impact. I'm amazed at how much these blessings have impacted my life.
And it will be a day that I will never forget.
Pink Impact, May 13th and 14th at the Fort Worth Convention Center with Priscilla Shire, Christine Kane, Charlotte Gamble, and Worship with Carrie Job. Get your tickets now at pinkimpact.com. That's pinkimpact.com.
660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report is on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. As we were discussing earlier tonight, the President of the United States and, of course, Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan have come together behind a notion that I think is highly destructive, not just for we, the people of the United States, but for most of the people on the planet. And I'm going to explain why in just a couple of minutes. The two top Republican leaders in Congress declined today to embrace a popular bill moving through the Senate that would allow families of 9/11 victims to sue Saudi Arabia. House Speaker Paul Ryan expressed caution about unintended consequences of the legislation, which would clear the way for lawsuits over Riyadh's alleged role in the terror attacks, and said the House would not rush the bill. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, a Republican from Kentucky, was asked if he supports the bill and whether or not he would put it on the floor. He would only say that he is still looking at it. He doesn't have any announcement to make regarding it. The bill enjoys broad bipartisan support, but has been stalled in the Senate by South Carolina Republican Lindsey Graham, an original co-sponsor. Graham acknowledged to CNN he put a hold on the legislation as he tries to resolve concerns about late changes made to it. Ryan said this: I think we need to look at it. I think we need to review it to make sure we're not making mistakes with our allies and that we're not catching people in this who shouldn't be caught up in this. There are 28 pages of the 9/11 Commission report that have been classified and out of public view since the 9/11 attacks, or since the actual committee finished their work. What this has done is it has insulated those people who are peripherally attached to the war on terror from the other side. Most people believe the 28 pages involved in the 9/11 Commission report deals with Saudi involvement in 9/11. Word has leaked from various sources that there were indeed members of the Saudi royal family who did work with some of the hijackers, indeed getting them into flight school, supporting them financially, etc., etc. Everyone knows that on the 12th day of September 2001, many members of the Saudi royal family were expedited out of the country and back to the kingdom. There clearly is is involvement in Saudi Arabia. And you said, JD, you said, wait a minute, why don't they move forward with this? If they don't move forward with this, it involves the whole world. Yes, it does. Let me explain how. The actual terrorists, the actual savages that struck again today, by the way, and have struck in the last couple of weeks, it's what they call their spring offensive. What they are doing is they are perpetrating this war on behalf of many of Islam who tacitly approve what they do. The Saudis practice Wahhabi Islam, which is a very radical, very terror-based, very jihadi-oriented brand of Islam. They do this because that's how they maintain their war and their lock on power. If you cross the Saudi kingdom, they kill you. Indeed, there is a tacit threat of economic payback if the 9/11 bill is passed. But the simple case of the matter is that people who tacitly approve of the war and jihad are also able to sit back and say, we don't have anything to do with it because the people that are acting are not true Muslims. Because true Muslims wouldn't behave that way. In Saudi Arabia's case, the hypocrisy on that statement is rich. So what we end up with is duplicity on multiple levels all throughout our dealings with our Arab, quote, allies, unquote. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Everybody who deals with their Arab, quote, allies, unquote, deal with the same duplicity. We're not the only ones. And they are able to threaten economic payback for bills that they don't approve. And they are, at least up until OPEC became not so important to the world economy, they were able to pull that off. They're not able to pull it off anymore, insofar as, in spite of the Obama administration, the United States of America has become a leading exporter of oil with greater reserves than Saudi Arabia has. So the issue is as follows. If you are able to hold someone in a country not directly related to jihad, not directly related to the war on terror, not the savages who kill children with electric drills, if you're able to reach those people, suddenly they have to pay for the miscreancy of the monsters that they harbor inside their religion. Make no mistake. Those people are inside that religion because they can live there. Either by threatening those who would turn them in with death in horrifyingly terrible ways, or through complicity by this large group of people that are sympathetic to their jihadist task. Either way, you get to those people by costing them huge amounts of money. Let me explain what happened. Pan Am Flight 103 crashes in Lockerbie, Scotland. The terrorists are traced back to Libya and Muammar Gaddafi. Muammar Gaddafi gets hammered for a few $1 billion out of his economy, an economy that his country could not afford to spend. And that was the last major terrorist stunt that Muammar Gaddafi ever pulled off. Somebody owes the families of 3,000 Americans a whole bunch of money. And I'm betting that those people that owe these families money are Saudis. And I am extremely concerned about Republican politicians that would stand in the way of them being paid. Now, make no mistake, it's not just Republican politicians. The President of the United States, Barack Obama, feels the same way. In fact, the Obama administration is indeed standing in the way of this bill moving forward. Of course, he's in the kingdom right now. I'm talking about President Obama. He's in the kingdom right now. Or will shortly be there, but I think he's in the kingdom right now, visiting with those very same Saudis. Now, before he left, he had some words for us, and we'll get to those coming up in just a little bit. You need to hear those words. I've always wondered what hold the Saudi Arabians had over the United States of America. It's not like they have anything we need. All we did with any of those countries in the Middle East was teach them how to harvest the amazing resources under their desert sands to the betterment of not just the Arabs, but everybody else on the planet, regardless of how much you think it's worth. Light, sweet Saudi crude has made the world's life a lot easier. So what we have to figure out is this. Do we want to involve those not directly involved with the war on terror? Do we need to involve them more directly? And is the way to do it suing them in court? You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM, The Answer. Finally, a conservative phone company created to fight for conservative candidates and causes. Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells from the Wells Report. I want you to know that Big Mobile supports liberal candidates. It has been tried and true and proven over and over and over again. It's a fact. The money you pay every month gets reallocated to lefty politician causes by big cell phone mobile companies. If you don't like it, then I want you to listen to this offer from Patriot Mobile. You already know that just like your current mobile provider, Patriot Mobile offers the same nationwide talk, text, 4G LTE data, and services popular with all of the other big companies' phone plans. But did you know that Patriot Mobile donates 5% of the money that you pay them strictly to conservative causes? Right now, if you call 1-800-A-PATRIOT, you'll get unlimited talks, text, and data plan with your choice of phones. The free iPhone, $60 a month. Free iPhone 5C, Samsung Galaxy S4, $45 a month. And the offer's only good while supplies last. Do not let liberal progressives and their phone companies defeat our conservative leaders. Who am I talking about? Let's see. Alan West come to mind. He's out of a job because of liberal cell phone companies. Contact Patriot Mobile right now. 1-800-A-PATRIOT. 1-800-272-8746. Go to patriotmobile.com. Tell them you heard about it on the Wells Report.
More of the Wells Report is coming up next on 660 AM. The Answer.
If you're suffering with sleep apnea, here's the breakthrough you've been dreaming about. Now you can finally travel and sleep in total comfort anywhere without having to drag around a big, bulky CPAP device. It's Transcend, the world's first portable mini CPAP device. And right now you can try Transcend and enjoy 10 nights of restful, blissful sleep absolutely risk-free. Call minicpap.com now, 1-800-900-6125.
Transcend is as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound, giving you the freedom to sleep in total comfort anywhere you are. For even more freedom, you can add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. Transcend is so small and so light you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Now you can enjoy the freedom you've been dreaming about. The freedom to sleep comfortably everywhere. Call minicpap.com for your 10-night in-home trial. 1-800-900-6125. That's 1-800-900-6125.
Would you like the security of a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage refi with our lowest payment possible, all without paying closing costs? Well, Cash Call Mortgage has a 30-year rate special starting at a rate so low, our lawyer won't let us say it on the radio. So call and find out how much this 30-year rate will cut your monthly payment while still knocking down your current loan balance. And the best part of all is the rate is fixed. The lawyer's right. It's a little complicated to explain on the radio. So call 855-875-CASH to find out how it works.
What? You'll cut my payment with no fees of any kind, and my balance will still go down?
Yep. Paying an interest rate below 3% really makes a big difference. To find out how big, just call 855-875-CASH. That's 855-875-CASH to slice your monthly payment now.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. 1 City Boulevard, Orange, California, 92868. Equal housing lender. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions. NMLS 128231. Offer for first mortgage.
That's 855-875-CASH.
And the Grammy goes to. And the American Music Award goes to.
Mr. Stephen Curtis Chapman.
Hi, we're Third Day. We're forming sort of one new band called SCC 3D.
Our sister station's doing it again. The 94.9 KLTY Concert Series welcomes Stephen Curtis Chapman with Third Day at the Verizon Theater on April 30th. Get your tickets right now at AXS.com. AXS.com.
In Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 2, God says, "Write in a book all the words I've spoken to you." Is there a story in you today? Have you ever felt urged by God to write those words in a book? Zulon Press is the largest, most experienced Christian self-publisher in the world, and they're offering a free publishing guide at christianpublishingguide.com. They've helped thousands of people just like you tell their stories and touch thousands of lives.
Share your story and find out more today at 660amtheanswer.com. Visit 660amtheanswer.com now.
Have you ever considered joining the military but stopped because you couldn't deploy to a foreign country? Believe it or not, the state of Texas has its own military force that stands alongside the Texas National Guard, the Texas Air National Guard, and serves only inside the state of Texas. It's called the Texas State Guard. I'm Tech Sergeant John Wells of the 4th Air Wing, and we're looking for you to join us. Give us a call at 877-398-8350. That's 877-398-8350. If you love Texas as much as we do, join the 4th Air Wing of the Texas State Guard.
660 AM The Answer. 660 AMTheAnswer.com. If it's important to you, we're talking about it right now on The Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. Armed militants in Afghanistan stormed a key government security agency in the capital of Kabul this morning as part of a coordinated assault. They killed at least 28 people and wounded more than 320. The Taliban claimed responsibility for the attack, which included a suicide car bombing. It appeared to have targeted an agency similar to the U.S. Secret Service, providing personal protection for high-ranking government officials. Randy in Plano, welcome to the Wells Report. Good to have you here.
Good. Thank you, brother. How's it going?
Good, man. How's things going?
Good. That attack is 100% on the shoulders of Barack Hussein Obama administration because of the normalization of relations with that regime. 100% that attack is on him. He's trying to normalize the Taliban, and that's 100% his situation right there.
Well, he's also the creator of ISIS. I mean, this is a bad situation.
Yeah, so what we're talking about earlier, that's about the time I really started paying attention. After 9/11, I started paying attention to politics because being an Army brat and having severe chronic asthma, not being able to go into the military, I knew that wasn't an option for me.
Hang on a second, Randy. I want to hear what you have to say, but I'm going to have to make you wait. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer. We're discussing the seriousness of the war on terror and actually doing something about it instead of watching it parade before us endlessly. This is the Wells Report.
Hey, everybody, Mark Davis for my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. I love birthdays and anniversaries, always a time to celebrate, and they are celebrating 15 years at Abacus Foundation Repair, 15 years of serving North Texas. Now, this celebration is about to come to an end. People have been enjoying it, too. You know what they've done? $1,000 off any foundation job with 10 or more pilings, and these are no ordinary pilings. We're talking about Millennium composite pilings for the strongest foundation solution. So call about that $1,000 off offer at 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000. Call Abacus first if you even think you got a foundation problem. Cracks in the sheetrock, doors that stick, 972-406-9000. Work is guaranteed. Certified foundation person on site at all times. You will be taken care of. 972-406-9000 or Abacus, ABACUS, Abacus Foundation Repair. The Abacus, little thing you can count on. Get it? You can count on Abacus. AbacusFoundationRepair.com, 972-406-9000.
Are you in the market for a new gun? Is there a specific brand that you're looking for? Or are you looking to buy from someone you trust and someone who has the knowledge to help you? You could get your new gun anywhere, but no place will have a selection better than Texas Gun Pros. When it comes to buying guns, Texas Gun Pros is here to help. Come in and let our guys match you with the perfect gun to meet your needs, whether it's for hunting, personal protection, or just having fun at the range. Texas Gun Pros has it. With our local inventory and vast online catalog, you have access to thousands of guns from the country's best distributors. Texas Gun Pros is the only place in North Texas that can give you the gun you want for the price you can afford. Don't miss out on the amazing selection and friendly staff at Texas Gun Pros. Stop by our North Richland Hills location or visit us on the web at texasgunpros.com. That's texasgunpros.com. texasgunpros.com. And see how it feels to be a member of the Texas Gun Pros family. Looking for a way for you and your family to enjoy the beautiful spring weather this weekend? Then head to the H2 Grow Spring Living Festival in Mansfield on Saturday, April 23rd. Held at the Mansfield Service Center on 620 South Wisteria from 10 to 4 p.m. Come check out do-it-yourself presentations, including one by the Dirt Doctor himself, Howard Garrett. There's no better way to celebrate spring than at the H2 Grow Festival. Crafts, kids activities, fishing derby, and even a plant sale. So come out this Saturday to the Mansfield Service Center on 620 South Wisteria for the H2 Grow Spring Living Festival.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY in Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler.
Thank you, New York.
Hillary Clinton addressing supporters after her win in the New York Democratic primary.
New Yorkers, you've always had my back. And I've always tried to have yours.
Republican Donald Trump also celebrating his win and looking ahead.
I'm flying tomorrow morning to Indiana. I'm going to Pennsylvania. I will be all over. So we're going to celebrate for about 2 hours. Then early in the morning, I get up and we begin working again.
7 deaths blamed on flooding in southeast Texas. Water rescues there topping 1,200 with more rain in the forecast. Fox News, we report, you decide.
.660 AM The Answer.
Are you a responsible person who finds yourself growing deeper and deeper in credit card debt and you're not sure how to fix the problem? Then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity Debt Management is a nonprofit organization that will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, and reduce your interest rates by as much as 60%. You'll save thousands and become debt-free for keeps. It's not a loan. It's a smart way to relieve your stress, meet your obligations, and preserve your self-respect. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Gather up your bills and call this toll-free number for a free, no-obligation debt analysis. 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976. If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Good Feet. I've described the many ways the right arch supports can help. Look, for some people, foot pain isn't just an inconvenience. It's a threat to the very work they do.
A construction guy comes in and told me, I'm afraid I'm going to get fired. My feet hurt so bad. I can't do what I need to do at work. You got to help me. It's unbelievable how quickly the product changes some things for some people.
If you're one of those people with foot pain affecting your livelihood, real help is here in all 3 locations of Good Feet: Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake. The adventure begins at goodfeetdfw.com, goodfeetdfw.com, where you can get out of pain today. If you're working out a lot and you want to avoid foot pain, arch support means everything. Men, women, all the shapes and sizes and styles you need from Good Feet. Again, they are in Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake. Check them out at goodfeetdfw.com. That's goodfeetdfw.com. It's America's #1 arch support, goodfeetdfw.com.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-1902. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-400-1902. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-1902. 1-800-400-1902.
Think you're fat? You might just be bloated. Find out by calling now for a free trial of New Biotics, the new breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast. For a free trial, call 1-800-988-5994. Strict limit of 1 per household.
I used to be plagued by potbelly and constant bloating. After taking New Biotics, my belly flattened and continues to get flatter. My sense of bloating and discomfort is gone.
If you've got a big belly, you might not be fat. You might just be bloated. New Biotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. If your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day. Think you might be bloated? See how much flatter New Biotics makes your belly. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-988-5994. That's 1-800-988-5994. 1-800-988-5994.
We are visiting our friend Chef Tom Fleming at Crossroads Diner. What do you have cooking today, Tom?
Let me ask you a question. Where you been getting your fried yardbird on lately? I know what you're thinking. Yeah, it's fried chicken. Well, at the diner, we do it a little bit different. Hand pounded, hand breaded, fried to order, and it comes with the best smooth, warm, creamy brie cheese. And then we top it with, oh my God, I can't even believe this, a tomato caper relish that is just out of this world. So if you've been eating fried yardbird somewhere else, come by the Crossroads Diner because my yardbird's the best.
Fresh ingredients sure to please any sophisticated palate and taste at affordable diner prices in a casual environment. Crossroads Diner. Come eat with us at our new location, now at the corner of Preston and Campbell in the Kroger Shopping Center. Open for breakfast and lunch Tuesday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Or visit them on the web at crossroadsdiner.com. Home-style goodness meets traditional diner. Great recipes, fresh ingredients, comfortable environment, and genuine hospitality are the heart and soul of Crossroads Diner. We'll be waiting for you.
Greater power now comes in a smaller package with the Kubota compact skid steer loaders from Zimmer Kubota. The new SSV loaders are easier to transport and easier to maneuver in tight spaces. These Kubota compact loaders move more materials faster with increased lifting capacities and higher lift heights. Get financing as low as 0% APR for up to 5 years now through June 30th, 2016. Call toll-free 800-794-4992 for details about costs and terms. Visit any of the 5 Zimmer Kubota locations today to see the power and performance of the Kubota SSV compact skid steer loaders.
660 AM, The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
Got it. You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 660-5759. Joining us is Randy from Plano, Texas, who was talking about our conversation regarding the 28 pages in the 9/11 Commission report that apparently hides Saudi involvement in the 9/11 attacks. That information needs to be made clear, needs to be made available to we, the people of the United States, especially if the Saudi Arabians are indeed involved. Because if they are indeed involved, then what needs to happen is that the Saudis need to face responsibility for their involvement. If indeed the government of Saudi Arabia is involved at any level in the 9/11 attacks, then they should pay the families of some 3,000 Americans who lost their lives on those attacks huge gobs of money. It seems to me that if they were, let's say, missing a brand new Lamborghini for the next 2 or 3 or 5 years, they might have something to say to those savages out there that are perpetrating the war of jihad in the name of Islam against those of us who just want to get down the road and have a wonderful life. And in order for us not to do that, we have to have American politicians who try to convince us that's a bad idea. And strangely enough, McConnell, Ryan, and Obama seem to be those guys. Joining us is Randy. As I said before, Randy, you were going to say that there is a part of the 9/11 report that annoys you that is already made public.
Yeah, see, watching this since the beginning, really, if you have more than half a brain cell and attention span that was greater than in that, you knew that the Saudis had to be involved and had to know what was going on because of the mass exodus and everything else that was going on. So I pretty much knew at the beginning that was the deal. I knew that whenever I saw Bush walk through the garden hand in hand with Obama in his first term, whenever he went over there and kissed the ring. I mean, the thing is that they own in any kind of payment that would be made to 9/11 victims and victims' family would be probably part of the hundreds of billions of dollars they have of ours and our debt currently right now in their possession. Pretty much try to dump in case we come out with this, which is already what they said. So we have to be ready to push over this domino. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with pushing over the domino. We need to also understand that this would be a huge incentive for us to be energy independent if we do this. And not only that, is we have to get ready of the uncoupling of the U.S. dollar from the way that oil is currently moved around the world right now. But the thing that really irks me is that in the 9/11 Commission report, it came out because that's when I started paying attention politically and militarily to what's going on around the world. And my middle daughter went over to Afghanistan, and that really is what I was talking about earlier. Bothers the crap out of me that happened. And so what really grabbed my attention is whenever the report came out, they said currently right now we have anywhere from 150 to 200,000 people that are here on overstayed visas. We don't know who they are. We don't know where they are. We don't know what their intentions are. We know that these people's intentions on their overstayed visas were not good. So whenever that came out, my first thought was, man, that's great. We're all in together. We're doing what the gentleman that I would never vote for currently right now is talking about New York values says. And, we were together as a nation, and we were all doing our thing. And I was like, okay, so we have Republicans, we have Democrats. We just found out we have over 150,000 people here illegally, overstayed visas, and this was a problem, and we're going to do something about it, right? Oh, heck to the no. Not did they not do anything about it, but 5 or 6 or 7 years afterwards, you and I talked on your program that they said that, oh, by the way, now it's gone from 200 or so to 400 or so. And I'm sure by now it's gone from 400 or so to 500 or more. And that right there really ticks me off. So if Congress is ready to push over this domino, and potentially, I hope, because you're listening to the Wells Report, you're probably 80 to 85% more well-informed than any other United States citizen. And if you are, and if you're not ready and your family is not ready for a global downturn, I'm not talking about an 08 downturn. I'm talking about a global, if you live in Dallas, Fort Worth area, and you see that 18-wheelers aren't rolling for 3 or 4 days, and you're not stocked at Walmart anymore, you better seriously have something ready to go for you and your family to be able to move the heck out of here and go somewhere where there's streams and creeks and fish and a way to live on nature, period.
Well, I don't think that that has to happen. I don't think that that's anywhere close to being real, Randy.
Well,
in
you better be ready.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm not saying that doing this with the sods is going to blow up to the point where, you know, it's going to be mass chaos and that everybody's going to be, you know, to a point where it's fend for yourself kind of situation. What I am saying is things in the background are not what we believe. Things in the background, they tell us what they want us to know.
But the thing about that is that everybody's been worrying about those people for as long as I've been alive, which is longer than you, man. I mean, they were the Trilateral Commission, they were the communists, they were the Bilderbergs, they were all these people, they, you know, the mysterious they that pull all the strings behind the scenes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, as it turns out, you know, they're more like, you know, corporate boardrooms and boards of directors and so on and so forth. And besides, it doesn't really matter because they have limited access to what's going on thanks to the world monetary system. So let's get back to that. First of all, the dollar having to do with the petrochemical industry in the world. That, once again, really doesn't have any more to do with the dollar than the frozen orange juice concentrate market in the world. Okay, so that's thing number one. The other thing you need to keep in mind, and by the way, I appreciate your phone call, Randy, but the other thing you need to keep in mind is this, is that if indeed the Saudi Arabians decide to dump all of our debt, that's perfectly fine. They will lose a flippin' fortune. Further, they need us more than we need them from a standpoint of someone to buy their oil. Remember why China was buying up all the world oil reserves for a few years there until they ran out of money. They were doing that because they were trading the oil instead of currency because they are not a part of the world monetary system. They float outside it, which means that the people inside the world monetary system damagingly discount any kind of goods and services coming out of China. If you don't play the game, you don't get to make the rules. And so China is kind of very slowly getting the real religion about real free market economies and how they really work. And why the most powerful countries on earth have a free market economy, by the way. They're learning, but it will be a while. In the meantime, we are here with, quote, allies, unquote, the Saudi Arabians that we dare not upset. Here's President Obama talking about these very same, quote, allies, unquote, and whether or not we, the people of the United States, ought to be able to find some way of reaching into their pocketbooks to hold them accountable for their part in the 9/11 attack.
Let me turn to issues that have been in the news recently, which is the 28 pages of the 9/11 report. Have you read it?
You know, I have a sense of what's in there, but this has been a process which we generally deal with through the intelligence community. And Jim Clapper, our Director of National Intelligence, has been going through to make sure that whatever it is that is released is not going to compromise some major national security interest of the United States. There are just reams of intelligence that are coming through constantly. Some of them are raw and not tested. Some of them are...
And some of that may be in the 28 pages.
And some of that may be in the 28 pages. I don't know. But the point is that it's important for there to be an orderly process where we evaluate this, because what can end up happening is if you just dump a whole bunch of stuff out there that nobody knows exactly how credible it is, was it verified or not, it could end up creating
But
problems.
the point is, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it has.
It's a long time.
That I will acknowledge. And hopefully that this process will come to a head fairly soon.
And what about this legislation in the Congress that will allow families to sue the Saudi government and other governments in different circumstances?
Exactly. I'm opposed because of that second clause in your sentence, and that is, this is not just a bilateral U.S.-Saudi issue. This is a matter of how generally the United States approaches our interactions with other countries. If we open up the possibility that individuals in the United States can routinely start suing other governments, then we are also opening up the United States to being continually sued by individuals in other countries.
Okay, Mr. President, I'll take that under abeyance, but the simple case of the matter is that I think that's all silliness. One, it's not every other country in the world. You don't get to make this an impossibility by involving other countries that it doesn't involve. This involves one country and one attack. Trying to make it bigger in order to make it go away, I see right through that. If a member of the Saudi royal family saw fit to support those terrorists, then the Saudi royal family owes us a whole bunch of money. If they pay us a whole bunch of money, the word will go forth through the Saudi network of communication to Muslims all over the world who are practicing jihad. You need to stop this, or we will stop you. Because it's costing us too much money. That's what needs to happen. And don't give me any of that garbage about the fact that, well, we don't want to offend our allies. We don't want to offend our allies. Well, if you don't want to offend our allies, you need to sit Joe Biden down, have a small talk with him, and tell him to zip it. What do you mean? Did Joe Biden say something nasty about the Saudi Arabians? Oh, no. No. Far worse. And I'll get to that coming up in just a couple of moments. You're listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Thanks very much for being a part of the broadcast. Our telephone number, 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Why is it that American politicians don't want us to be able to find some remedy for the 9/11 attacks in court? Back with more in a moment.
Have you been holding out for a good deal to replace that old AC system? Well, now there's a new program you just can't pass up. I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. You may have already heard that you can save over $3,500 on a new Infinity system with Carrier's Cool Cash, but did you know that for a limited time, you can also get an additional $1,800 off from your utility provider? That's right. And when you combine these two programs, we're talking saving over $5,000 on a brand new AC system that can cut your electric bill in half. But the utility funds are limited, and the program will end when the money runs out. Right now, we're scheduling free estimates on a first-come, first-served basis. So call now. Better yet, call 2 other companies first, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Call 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437, or visit us online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis, my friends at Viascan of Las Colinas. Here comes spring. Are you about to get more active? Maybe already because it's been so warm? Well, me too. And listen, there are questions inside your body as to what's going on. Are you at risk for a heart attack? Do you have plaques or blockages that maybe you don't even know about? Do you have any kind of cancer spots in any vital organ that you don't know about now? You might find out later when they're larger and inoperable masses. This is not smart. What is smart? Going to Viascan of Las Colinas, affordable preventive health care. John Duncan and the crew have some incredible specials for you. The body scan that takes a look at your heart and a cancer risk, usually $895, just $595. Give them a call today and add the carotid artery neck scan to evaluate stroke risk for just $99 more. This is incredible. It's like $1,380 worth of scanning, all safe, all comfortable, for $695. Absolutely great. 972-739-2840, 972-739-2840, or just Google Viascan. Viascan of Las Colinas.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-700-2844. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible, without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-700-2844. That's 1-800-700-2844. 1-800-700-2844.
Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services. Have you received a letter or personal visit from the IRS? Has the IRS garnished your paycheck or seized your bank account? If so, you need to take action now. You're a target of the most powerful collection agency in the world, and you need representation you can trust. Don't get scammed by imitators and telemarketers' high-pressure tactics. At Wall & Associates, they've developed trust with their clients through a free face-to-face consultation. They've saved their clients over $129 million in the past 5 years. Call 1-800-983-5313 now for your free face-to-face consultation. Ignoring your tax problem will only make it worse. Call 1-800-983-5313 to get immediate help. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has helped thousands of taxpayers, and they can help you. Call now, 1-800-983-5313. That's 1-800-983-5313.
Take a second to think. I mean, how many Bibles do you have laying around your home? 2, 3? Now think about all the places you can go to buy one. There's a store on every corner or a Bible app in every phone. We've become so numb to how easily accessible a Bible can be. But what if your pastor had to walk a day's journey to the nearest Bible, memorize a chapter, then walk back to his church to preach that message he just memorized? That's the case for the churches planted by Harvesters throughout Africa. Harvesters is a ministry focused on planting churches in Muslim-crowded communities throughout Africa. There's a problem, though. Some of these churches don't even have one Bible. Either Muslim groups have burnt them or there's not access to one in the native tongue. For a one-time donation of $15, you can provide a Bible to a pastor in one of these churches. Just go to 660amtheanswer.com and click on the Harvesters banner to learn more. Go to 660amtheanswer.com and click on the Harvesters banner right now.
660 AM, The Answer. 660amtheanswer.com. Now, by popular demand, The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. There was a CNN report on the air yesterday that referred to a major bus bombing in Jerusalem as a bus fire. This is the same news organization, of course, that reported a story on 9/11/2001. You know, that office fire and that high rise downtown in, New York. It was just an office fire. It was no big thing. Same thing with the Pentagon. It was just a small little it was actually, you know what it was? It was a minor collision. Leading Jewish groups went ballistic today, and they should have, harshly denouncing CNN for referring to a major bus bombing as a bus fire. There's no excuse for this. Hopefully, this is not a part of a pattern, said Rabbi Abraham Cooper. He's the Associate Dean of Jewish Human Rights at the Simon Wiesenthal Center. Cooper is responding to CNN's coverage of an explosion on the number 12 bus as it drove through Jerusalem's Talpiot neighborhood during rush hour. 21 people were wounded, 2 of them critically. Although the cause of the incident was initially unclear, Jerusalem Police Chief Yoram Levy soon confirmed there's no doubt this is a terrorist attack. But at the time of the publication, the leading CNN article reporting on the scene on the incident carried the headline, "Bus Fire in Jerusalem Injures 21." Vice President Joe Biden said last night Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government was leading the country in the wrong direction. This was hours after a bus bombing in Jerusalem that killed 2 and wounded at least 21. In a speech to the Israel advocacy group J Street, Biden criticized Palestinian leaders, but saved his harshest words for Israeli officials. Quote, "I firmly believe the actions that Israel's government has taken over the past several years, the steady and systematic expansion of settlements, legalization of outposts, land seizures, they're moving us, and more importantly, they're moving Israel in the wrong direction." Biden did single out Palestinian leaders, including Mahmoud Abbas, for declining to condemn specific acts. Let me try this again in English. Biden did single out Palestinian leaders, including Mahmoud Abbas, for declining to condemn specific acts of terrorism carried out against Israelis. But when you are clearly a country that is under terrorist siege, that's not the time to start attacking the president of the prime minister of the only Middle Eastern democracy in the entire region. So don't tell me that we're not going to do anything to offend our allies in the region. What you need to be aware of, or what you need to be sure of, is you don't want to antagonize certain allies in the region. You have no problem antagonizing Israel at will. It's totally and completely ridiculous, absolutely inexcusable. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer. There's more on this. We'll have it for you coming up in just a couple of minutes as we head toward midnight on Tuesday night in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. From what I understand, rain's coming. I'm not exactly sure. Keeping our eyes on the tote boards with 90+%. Donald Trump wins the Republican New York primary with 60% of the vote. Wow, you're listening to the Wells Report.
Is your home filled with things you want to keep but just don't have room for? Hey, it's Mark Davis. I have a solution. The beautiful storage buildings from Ulrich Barn Builders. Go to mybarns.com and see all they do, from actual barns to storage sheds to fit any home atmosphere, craftsmanship, value, and customer service you'll love. At the Ulrich website, mybarns.com, you'll see sheds, playhouses, garages, even log cabins. They do it all to make your property beautiful as you finally get to enjoy a place for everything and everything in its place. The place for the best barns and sheds is Ulrich Barn Builders at mybarns.com. Great prices, incredible selection, warranties to guarantee years of satisfaction. 3 generations of service, a family business for over 25 years, bringing the Mennonite tradition of quality and integrity to every barn or shed they provide. Is it time for a barn raising at your place? Beautiful styling, a solution to your clutter problems. Dream, relax, and enjoy the workmanship of Ulrich Barn Builders. See all they do at mybarns.com. That's mybarns.com.
Welcome back, Summer. It's a hot one. This is Nolan Ryan. Go with the pros who know how to beat Texas heat. American Standard Air. Born and bred in the Lone Star State. That's American Standard. Comfort the way you like it.
That's right, Nolan. And your trusted independent American Standard dealer is Mathis Air and Heat. Why is that? Mathis Air has been serving you and your neighbors for over 20 years. They offer 24-hour emergency service and 100% financing for 60 months and 0% interest on a new system with approved credit. So make the call today for your free in-home estimate or $49 tune-up at 972-279-4COOL. That's 972-279-4COOL. Or go to mathisair.com. mathisair.com. That's mathisair.com. Get 0% APR for 60 months with a minimum purchase of $5,000. Call 1-888-534-6894 for details about credit costs and terms. For new accounts, the APR for purchase is 28.99%, subject to credit approval.
Calling all business owners. Are you running your business without being incorporated? If you answered yes, you are now eligible to incorporate in just 10 minutes. It's a quick incorporation event from Incorporate.com, designed to save small business owners from the risk of losing everything. Just call this number for your free 10-minute incorporation guide, 1-800-300-5124. If you're not incorporated, it's not just your business that can be sued, it's you too, which means you could lose everything. Your home, your car, even your life savings. That's why small business owners across the country are now scrambling to incorporate during this event. Call now for your free 10-minute incorporation guide while supplies last. 1-800-300-5124. Incorporate.com doesn't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating or forming an LLC quick and easy. But hurry and call now while they're still giving these 10-minute incorporation guides away for free. Call 1-800-300-5124. That's 1-800-300-5124.
And the Grammy goes to. And the American Music Award goes to.
Mr. Stephen Curtis Chapman.
Hi, we're Third Day. We're forming sort of one new band called SCC 3D.
Our sister station's doing it again.
The 94.9 KLTY Concert Series welcomes Stephen Curtis Chapman
With Third Day
at the Verizon Theater on April 30th. Get your tickets right now at AXS.com. AXS.com.
In Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 2, God says, "Write in a book all the words I've spoken to you." Is there a story in you today? Have you ever felt urged by God to write those words in a book? Zulon Press is the largest, most experienced Christian self-publisher in the world, and they're offering a free publishing guide at christianpublishingguide.com. They've helped thousands of people just like you tell their stories and touched thousands of lives.
Share your story and find out more today at 660amtheanswer.com. Visit 660amtheanswer.com now.
The 4000 ASE certified technicians at Firestone Complete Auto Care prove a tool's only as good as the hands behind it. Right now at Firestone Complete Auto Care, get a $70 Bridgestone Visa prepaid card with the purchase of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Offer valid April 1st through April 30th. Prepaid card issued by the Bancorp Bank, member FDIC. Card valid 6 months after purchase. Subject to credit approval. See store or drive at Firestone.com for full details.
Any Tom, Dick, or Harry can tell you that Geico could save you money on car insurance. But since money talks, why not go straight to the source?
Hey, Harry's Money here. And the day Harry went to Geico.com and switched his car insurance was the day I got to hang around. Finally, boys bonding, bada bing, bada boom. No wonder Geico has 97% customer satisfaction. Personally, I give him 100, but that's just my 2 cents. That was funny.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. More news from the war on terror. Islamic State terrorists are plotting to attack tourists at beach resorts across Europe this summer by posing as drink vendors and placing bombs under sunbeds. This according to German media. They reported this today. The terrorists also plan on detonating suicide bombs and gunning down tourists with automatic rifles. This according to Italian security sources, speaking to the German newspaper Bild. They want to strike Italian, French, and Spanish beaches, said Sek Pouy, a police chief from Senegal. They will exploit certain radicalized vendors who will travel regularly between Italy and Senegal. The Italian interior minister has denied the reports and claims Italy's beaches are safe for citizens and tourists. But a senior German security source insists holiday beaches cannot be protected. The suspects behind the alleged terror plots are said to be allied with Boko Haram and based in Senegal. In June, terrorists gunned down 38 people, including 30 British citizens, on a beach resort in Tunisia. Remember that? It was a variation on the my nightmare scenario. Does not involve airliners or anything of the kind. It involves a squad of determined terrorists with Kalashnikovs and lots of ammunition and places where you can't take weapons to defend yourself. What have we done to ourselves because of news like I just shared with you? Well, what we've done is we have dramatically curtailed our own civil liberties. It has been a mistake. Let me explain what I'm talking about. It was absolutely essential to the FBI to be able to get inside the cell phone of one Syed Farouk. Syed Farouk was one of the terrorists in San Bernardino. And in keeping with CNN's headline about the bus fire that killed 23 or injured 23 in Jerusalem, that must have been a gun cleaning incident at a Christmas party in San Bernardino. Idiots. It was absolutely critical that the FBI be able to get into Syed Farouk's cell phone. It almost came to a constitutional crisis between the FBI and Apple Computing, who said, we're not going to open that cell phone for you. We don't want that capability out there. The FBI finally went to a group of hackers, and they were kind enough to go ahead and provide access to Syed Farouk's phone. Meantime, everybody around the world strongly condemning Apple for not allowing the FBI to get into everybody's cell phones. This, of course, just in time for a half a dozen stories of FBI abuse of the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. Suddenly, it wasn't just one cell phone they wanted to crack into. It was thousands of them. There's more about that coming up in just a couple of moments. Hacking the San Bernardino terrorist iPhone was something that was a clear priority for the FBI. They finally found a way to do it, and the results of that hacking into the iPhone have been made available to us on the Wells Report. Here's CNN, and I'm beginning to realize that this isn't a news organization. This is an apologist for the Obama administration. Hacking the San Bernardino's iPhone, the San Bernardino terrorist's iPhone, has produced data the FBI didn't have before and has helped the investigators answer some remaining questions in the ongoing probe, according to U.S. law enforcement officials. That's the first sentence. Apple and the FBI are squaring off again today in testimony at a House hearing on encryption, with the recent battle over unlocking a terrorist phone looming in the background. Here's what they got off the cell phone. You ready? Here's what they got. Nothing. They got nothing off the cell phone. There wasn't anything on the cell phone that wasn't just plain run-of-the-mill whatever. There was nothing of import on the cell phone. And how is this being spun by the crafty, quote, journalists, unquote, at CNN? Well, now they know that there wasn't anything on the phone of import. Oh, okay. And that was important. That there wasn't anything on the phone that was important is actually important to the investigation, because that way they knew that there wasn't anything important on the cell phone, which is important. So in other words, it was important to the FBI to be able to hack into the cell phone to find out that there was nothing important on the cell phone, because that would be an important part of the investigation. Right. So once again, all these people yelling and screaming that Apple should open up this phone, Apple should open up this phone, they were wrong. There wasn't anything on the phone. Listen to the spin. Investigators are now more confident that terrorist Syed Farouk did not make contact with another plotter during the 18-minute gap the FBI said was missing from their timeline of the attacker's whereabouts after the mass shooting. The phone has helped investigators address lingering concerns the two may have help, perhaps from friends and family. See, this is the problem with a news media that thinks everybody else is stupid. Did CNN forget that we now know that there were all kinds of people going to and from the household where those terrorists were living at all hours of the day and night? Did they forget they reported that? So obviously the two did have help, perhaps from friends and family. So saying that, well, the phone helped investigators address lingering concerns, the two may have had help from friends and family. We knew they had help from friends and family. All we had to do was break down the politically correct nonsense of some dingle-dong that happened to be living a couple of doors down that didn't want to say anything because she didn't want to be thought of as a racist. Thank you, political correctness. Apple fought a judge's order to help the FBI get past security features on the phone's data, and they were right. They were right to do so. And we've got proof now. One of the points of contention during the legal fight was Apple's argument that FBI already had obtained relevant data from the iCloud account linked to the phone and from other data not stored on the device. That breaking into the device would be of little use. Crazily enough, Apple was correct. Breaking into the device was of little use. But that it was of little use was of great import in the conversation. Oh, man. This is heads I win, tails you lose. That's what this is all about. This is so stupid. The government contended investigators couldn't be sure until they accessed data from the phone. Yes, they could. They could be sure. FBI investigators now have concluded there was data on the phone they didn't have previously, according to law enforcement officials, declined to be more specific. How convenient. Well, was it a recipe for falafel? The data is still being analyzed. More leads are being followed. Apparently, the terrorists just drove aimlessly around San Bernardino for 18 minutes, probably trying to figure out who to hit next. Hello? Or probably because they got a phone call from somebody saying, hey, there are a whole bunch of guys from the FBI here at the house. You shouldn't come back. This was all part of the reporting, remember? The people most surprised on the planet that the FBI was waiting for them at home were the two terrorists. All right, I think I've made my point. Let me move on. The FBI cannot unlock 13% of the password-protected cell phones it has seized as evidence in the past 6 months. This according to a top bureau official. About 30% of the 33,000-plus phones the FBI has seized since October 1st required passwords to open, according to Amy Hess, the executive assistant director of the FBI's Science and Technology Branch. The FBI was able to unlock most of those phones, but the number that they can't get into is growing as tech companies build devices with stronger data encryption. Hess said that passwords are becoming longer and more difficult to guess, even with special computer programs designed to crack them. Clearly, that presents us with a challenge. Yeah, it sure is a challenge. That Fourth Amendment, boy, that's a hell of a challenge to really good police work, isn't it? Amy Hess was talking about all of this with members of the House Energy and Commerce Committee, which brought in law enforcement officials and tech experts to testify about the pros and cons of end-to-end encryption, which is designed so that only users can unlock it. We have a guarantee from our Constitution that we are able to be secure in our papers, in our houses, in our bodies. It's okay that the government not have access to everything in our lives. It's part of our lives. That freedom and liberty is part of freedom and liberty in the United States. Apple's general counsel, Bruce Sewell, testified today that Apple works closely with the FBI to help solve crimes, but does not believe in weakening encryption as the answer. We feel strongly that Americans will be better off if we can offer the best protection for their digital lives. And they are correct. Then there's this. In a just-released court opinion, a federal court judge overseeing government and surveillance programs was extremely concerned about a series of incidents in which the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the National Security Agency deviated from court-approved limits on their snooping activities. Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court Judge Thomas Hogan sharply criticized the two agencies over the episodes, referred to by the intelligence gatherers as compliance incidents. He also raised concerns the government had taken years to bring the NSA-related issues to the court's attention, and that he said that delay may have run afoul of the government's duty of candor to the court. So, FISA court judge Thomas Hogan, a guy who you never ever heard of before in your life, stands up and tells the FBI and the NSA, hey, you guys are blowing this. And the FBI and NSA's assurances that they are not violating the Constitution or the directives of the FISA court sure look a little dimmer today, don't they? I am not against the FBI. They're the best law enforcement agency on the planet. And they need to remain so, which means that they need to stop tampering and get back to good, honest police work, which is what they're the best in the world at. This is the Wells Report.
Hey, it's springtime. Time to clean out the garage, throw out those old mattresses, get all of those things cleaned up for the missus that she has on her honey-do list. Be a good opportunity at a good time for you to think about throwing out those terrible windows that have been making you cold and miserable all winter, and now are going to be making you hot and miserable all summer. Hi, Dave Trainer from the Window Connection. With good quality replacement windows in your home, your AC doesn't have to work so hard, and you can still stay cool, and you can still save money. That's a good thing in Texas. The thing about replacement windows is they make your air conditioner work less often for better results. I would love the opportunity to come out and look at your house, look it over with you, bring you some samples, kind of give you an idea of where to start in a window replacement project.
Call the Window Connection for an estimate at 972-620-1994. That's 972-620-1994. Or go online to thewindowconnection.net.
Think you're fat? You might just be bloated. Find out by calling now for a free trial of New Biotics, the new breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast. For a free trial, call 1-800-988-5994. Strict limit of one per household.
I used to be plagued by potbelly and constant bloating. After taking new biotics, my belly flattened and continues to get flatter. My sense of bloating and discomfort is gone.
If you've got a big belly, you might not be fat. You might just be bloated. New Biotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. If your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day. Think you might be bloated? See how much flatter New Biotics makes your belly. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-988-5994. That's 1-800-988-5994. 1-800-988-5994.
Hi, I'm Carl Deichler, the CEO of Beachbody, and I'm here to tell you about an amazing new way you can start losing weight for free right now. You've probably seen our workout DVDs on TV like P90X, Insanity, and 21 Day Fix. We just launched a beta trial of our new digital video platform, Beachbody On Demand. So while we're testing out this new digital video service, I'm inviting you to use it for free for 30 days. That means you can lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, even 30 pounds without paying a dime. Text the word PUSH to 313131 and you can do 30 days of P90X, Insanity, or any of over 400 workouts for free. And here's the catch. In return, all I ask is you let us know what you think of the service so we can make Beachbody On Demand the best fitness and weight loss site ever created. Just text PUSH to 313131 and get started for free right now. Again, text PUSH to 313131.
Message and data rates may apply. Membership fees apply after 30-day trial. Cancel anytime.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. You know, one of the highest compliments a company could receive is just one word: integrity. Now, it's a word we don't throw around lightly and a word we don't just give to ourselves. Now, you have to earn the right to be labeled with the word integrity. Well, the people of DFW have spoken, and that's why there's Integrity Roofing. Now, when I want work done on my home, I obviously want it done right, but deep down, all I want is for that company to be a company that I can trust, one that's going to treat me like a human being and not a dollar sign. Now, at Integrity Roofing, well, that's the name of their game, integrity. Integrity Roofing will always be there for you as those spring and summer hailstorms approach and to literally protect your roof right over your head. Now, Integrity Roofing wants to be the name that you trust to make sure that your home looks as good as new after any storm. I trust them. You can trust them. Go to their website, integrityroofingcompany.com. That's integrityroofingcompany, one word.com today. And when you're looking for a roofer, there's only one name to look for, and that's Integrity. Integrity Roofing.
This is Nolan Ryan for American Standard Air. Beat the heat with high-quality, dependable home comfort. Technology fighting Mother Nature. It's serious. American Standard. Comfort the way you like it.
Nolan's right, and North Texas Air can help. With our mild Texas winter, chances are good we're in for a long, hot summer. So, North Texas Air is offering an $89 comprehensive preventative maintenance spring special to make sure your air conditioner is ready for the long, hot Texas summer. Or if it's time to replace your old AC system, North Texas Air can help with a new energy-efficient system. Special financing is available, subject to credit approval. Call North Texas Air, your independent American Standard Air dealer, for details at 972-535-4858.
And remember, all new systems from North Texas Air come with a lifetime labor and workmanship warranty. For fast service, call North Texas Air at 972-535-4858. That's 972-535-4858. Or visit NorthTXAir.com.
Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. A top House Republican is calling on the Department of Homeland Security to stop retaliating against a Border Patrol agent who recently criticized President Obama's immigration policies. Quote, I fully expect that you will personally ensure that no DHS employee or contractor will be targeted for reprisal or any other form of adverse employment action on the basis of voicing their legitimate concerns regarding compliance with unwritten department policies that contradict your written policies, said Judiciary Chairman Bob Goodlatte of Virginia. He wrote that in an April 18th letter to Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson. That message was sent on behalf of Brandon Judd, the head of the Border Patrol Union, who's become a thorn in the side of his supervisors by testifying that DHS is implementing a catch and release policy, despite official statements saying the policy is not in effect. He has also suggested that some DHS officials who are not candid with Congress risk punishment. Judd is now facing misconduct allegations filed by one or more managers at the Border Patrol. Such an inquiry, launched within days of Mr. Judd's testimony before the Subcommittee on Immigration and Border Security, raises the specter of retaliation against Mr. Judd and the other executive committee members, said Goodlatte. Please give me your assurance that this isn't happening. They better stop shooting the messenger. This is the Wells Report.
Hey, everybody, Mark Davis. Let's talk about life after 40, a land I've occupied for a good while. Yeah, remember 32? Both age and waist size? Yep, seems like a while. Hair now vanishing where you want it and cropping up where you don't. Reading glasses? Ugh. Used to be able to see like a champ, but now you're lucky to read past a headline without holding it at arm's length, and don't get me started on text messages and restaurant menus. Now when you head to the store for a six-pack, it's probably a six-pack of reading glasses. A pair in the car, two on the desk, some in your pocket, one by the bed, and you can never find them where you need them. You are bummed. There's nothing you can do, but wait, you are not stuck with the reading glasses. Climb an Evangelista Eye Center with the corneal inlay procedure. The corneal inlay. Learn more at myinlay.com. Specially designed for over 40 reading vision. So quit complaining. Do something about it. The corneal inlay at Climb an Evangelista Eye Center. 1-800-714-2020. 1-800-714-2020. Or myinlay, myinlay, myinlay.com.
Based on actual cases, results may vary. Not a solicitation for legal services. Have you received a letter or personal visit from the IRS? Has the IRS garnished your paycheck or seized your bank account? If so, you need to take action now. You're a target of the most powerful collection agency in the world, and you need representation you can trust. Don't get scammed by imitators and telemarketers' high-pressure tactics. At Wall & Associates, they develop trust with their clients through a free face-to-face consultation. They've saved their clients over $129 million in the past 5 years. Call 1-800-983-5313 now for your free face-to-face consultation. Ignoring your tax problem will only make it worse. Call 1-800-983-5313 to get immediate help. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has helped thousands of taxpayers, and they can help you. Call now, 1-800-983-5313. That's 1-800-983-5313.
Veterans have given us the freedoms we live by each day. That's why Starkey Mortgage and 660 AM The Answer bring you the Veteran of the Month. If you know a veteran who deserves this honor, then go to 660amtheanswer.com and nominate them to be the 660 AM The Answer Starkey Mortgage Veteran of the Month. Winners will visit the studio, meet hosts Mark Davis and Jon-David Wells, and receive a prize from Starkey Mortgage. Go to 660amtheanswer.com to nominate your veteran. Starkey Mortgage is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2146. This is not a commitment to lend. Specific underwriting guidelines must be met.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. Big wins for Republican Donald Trump and Democrat Hillary Clinton in New York. Despite the win, Trump's still taking aim at the GOP's delegate selection system.
Nobody should take delegates and claim victory unless they get those delegates with voters and voting.
The focus now on next week's primaries in Pennsylvania, Maryland, Connecticut, Delaware, and Rhode Island. At least 7 have died in severe flooding in the Houston area, more than 1,000 homes damaged or destroyed. Intel laying off up to 12,000 employees worldwide.
It's meant to save them about $1.4 billion, and they need it. They're restructuring to keep up with changing times. The PC market has slowed, and execs running the computer chip makers say they're going to put a bigger focus on chips for connected devices like phones, tablets, and other things that connect to Wi-Fi, along with chips for data center machines.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Fox News. We report, you decide.
660 AM The Answer.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity, one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. Josh averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. Josh's clients voted, and both D Magazine and Texas Monthly ranked him as the best real estate agent in Dallas. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net and start packing.
If you're considering going back to school, ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 100 highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You'll earn the same degree as you would on campus, from wherever you are, on your schedule. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits. For information, call 1-800-709-2636. Learn for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates, and why 90% of ASU grads are recruited within 90 days of graduation. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona State University. To learn more about ASU online degrees, call 1-800-709-2636. That's 1-800-709-2636.
If these recent storms have given your roof a beating, call on Integrity Roofing to fix it right. Integrity Roofing Company is your trusted solution. When storms roll in, so do the fly-by-night companies. Protect yourself from these storm chasers and go with Integrity, a locally owned company who weather these storms with you. Your home and livelihood is the most important thing you own. And because of that, you need a company with a name that you can rely on. A name like Integrity. The storms this year have already handed out their fair share of damage, and more will be on the way. So contact Integrity Roofing today for a free roof evaluation. Go to integrityroofingcompany.com. That's integrityroofingcompany.com. And rest assured that your roof will be repaired by a dependable, reputable, and knowledgeable professional. integrityroofingcompany.com. Contact them today for your free roof evaluation before another storm comes through. Get a roof that will last and stand up to the elements. Integrity Roofing. Do it with integrity.
Are you suffering with hearing loss? Are you sick of people constantly complaining that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to speak up? Would you like to hear more clearly, but you don't want to wear a hearing aid that makes you look old? Then you need to try Listen Clear, a life-changing breakthrough precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. And you can adjust Listen Clear to find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And right now you can try Listen Clear absolutely free with free shipping. We'll even give you free batteries for life. So call now, 1-800-900-3142. Listen Clear is lightweight and completely hassle-free, and it's practically invisible. Call for your 100% free home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now, 1-800-900-3142. That's 1-800-900-3142. 1-800-900-3142.
Hey, Mom, I got your message. Do you need me to come home early?
Hi, dear. We're all doing fine. The kids haven't slowed down all day, and thanks to Blue Emu, neither have I.
But I thought you said...
Well, I tried your father's Blue Emu Maximum Arthritis Relief Cream. It worked fast to relieve the pain in my achy muscles and joints.
Blue Emu, huh?
That's right, and it's odor-free.
Blue Emu Maximum Arthritis Relief. Beat the pain and enjoy life. Available at Walmart and Walgreens.
In my line of work, I'm trying to make a difference. Not $1 billion, but I do want to be able to save for the future. So this year I partnered with TIAA to help me map out what I should be doing. Together, we came up with a personalized plan for my finances. And now it seems like a life of rewarding work just might pay off for a lifetime.
See how we're helping those who do good do well at the new TIAA.org. TIAA, created to serve, built to perform.
What is Pink Impact?
Every year, I attend Pink Impact with the expectation that I'm going to hear God's voice and have an encounter with Him.
And every year, I leave knowing He has a purpose and a plan for me.
It's very comforting to know that He'll provide me with everything I need.
Hearing God's voice, that's my Pink Impact story.
Pink Impact, May 13th and 14th at the Fort Worth Convention Center with Priscilla Shire, Christine Kane, Charlotte Gamble, and Worship with Carrie Job. Get your tickets now at pinkimpact.com. That's pinkimpact.com.
660 AM. 660 AM. The Answer. 660 AM. TheAnswer.com. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Into the
Read
night
the weather
tonight.
warning.
Oh. You want me to read the weather warning? There's a severe thunderstorm warning for Wise County until 11:30 tonight, said Jon-David, reaching over for his very fancy iPad. And let me go ahead and click on my very fancy iPad and dial in my encrypted security code. By the way, in case you don't know, I if you were listening yesterday, you would have heard me talk about the fact that my executive producer gave me a gift over the weekend, which is a really harsh case of bronchitis. Don't get me wrong. It was a nice gift. For all the cases of bronchitis that I've ever had, this may be the best one. And for that is, I mean, you know, when somebody gives you the very, very best. So anytime, so if I vanish for a moment, if all of a sudden I sort of trail off or go, ugh, and then you don't hear anything for a moment, it's because I've turned the microphone off and I'm coughing. Likewise, if I'm not available, if I'm in a situation where I can't get to the microphone quickly enough and I cough in your ear, please forgive me. All right? I'm just saying. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. I have popped open my NOAA Radio Pro, Radar Pro, and I am looking at a very fascinatingly organized thunderstorm line that is basically headed towards Denison and Sherman and looks like it's going to pass a little north of Denton, although there may be an opportunity for it to drag itself through the listening area. In fact, there is. This line is going to cross towards Fort Worth, Keller, so on and so forth, probably, I don't know, probably in an hour or so. Because it is coming to the left. And what they're expecting is they're expecting golf ball size hail and perhaps as much as 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So this is pretty serious business. So this is a pretty good storm. Let me see if I can get a good beat on this thing. Yeah, it's just north of Big Spring. It appears to be headed mostly east, although there's a slight northeastern bent to it. And the severe thunderstorm watch has not yet made it into Tarrant County yet, but will. All I can tell you is that there's a hail-producing storm that is headed right towards Sherman. Okay, so if you're listening to this radio broadcast in Sherman, you might want to be ready to take a little bit of shelter. It also looks like the thunderstorm is perhaps gaining strength as it moves. So we're keeping our eyes on it. We will keep our eyes on it. But once again, there's a severe thunderstorm warning for Wise County until 11:30 tonight. 866-660-5759, our telephone number. Let me get to Robert in Irving. Robert, welcome to the show. Hi.
Holy cow, no wait, that's great. How you doing?
Holy cow, no wait, that's great. What are you talking about?
I just called and I just got on. It's amazing.
It is amazing. It's almost like, you can be on the air if you call us.
How about that?
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Hey, the iPad thing with, once the FBI gets it or whoever has it.
Yeah.
And that's evidence, right?
Yeah.
The phone itself is evidence? Okay. Well, how's that any different than impounding a car and saying you can't look in the trunk and you can't look in the glove compartment for extra evidence?
Well, except for the fact that you can look in the glove compartment and you can look in the trunk.
Not for long.
Well, you see, here's the thing. We have never, ever, ever had law that forbade law enforcement officers from looking in your trunk and glove compartment. Ever.
No.
As a matter of fact, the most of the Bill of Rights really doesn't have anything to do with your car.
I know that.
Okay. So the thing about it is that if you get into your car because of this phantom privilege to drive, and to be perfectly honest with you, everybody knows that there is no free society without free travel. Okay? That this is some sort of privilege to drive is nonsense. This is the most accessible oppression and tyranny that we ever deal with, right? So there's no legal precedent to stop a police officer from going through your car with or without your permission when they stop you. Now make no mistake, they'll ask you for your permission, but they don't need it. As far as communications go, communications are a different kettle of fish. The law enforcement has never been able to just willy-nilly hook up to your telephone or your communication device, especially a communication device with a memory that records whatever phone call you make. They've never been able to do that without a warrant.
Okay, well, don't they have a warrant to get the information off the phone?
No, they have a warrant to they had a warrant. In fact, what they did was they had a court order ordering Apple Computer to open the cell phone to the FBI satisfaction.
They didn't have a warrant.
Now, what Apple knew that the FBI either did not know or did not care to know is the fact that most of the information that they were looking for would be in the cloud, which is a clue to all of us. All right? It's okay
in California.
Well, it's okay. It's okay for you to have a way to encrypt your data, but your data is not encrypted in the cloud or is available in the cloud without the security device to be able to get to your phone. In other words, the problem is that you have to get to this security code in the phone. You have to enter it correctly, or the phone erases itself. Okay? Yep. However, the data that the FBI was looking for was in the cloud the whole time. And Apple knew that. And the FBI either didn't know that or they didn't want to know that. And what they wanted was a way to get into anybody's cell phone at any time, which became clear after Apple said no.
Right. Well, I agree with that, but I wasn't aware that the information wasn't actually on the phone, and I was kind of comparing it to the same thing as stuff in the trunk of a car or stuff on a hard drive or your computer or whatever.
No. And the thing about it is that once again, if indeed somebody shows up with a warrant, even look, in this country, you get to have secrets from your government.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you are secure in your person, and you are secure in your papers.
Right.
Now,
warrant.
Yes, unless there is a warrant involved. In which case, if there is a warrant, then the warrant that it is specific. This is what we are looking for. This is what we are trying to find. This is what we believe is there. That means that if you indeed do get into the cell phone, and this is the problem with this whole thing, and thank you for reminding me about this. If they got into the cell phone without knowing what was on it, how could they possibly swear out a warrant to get into the cell phone?
Yeah. Well, phone list is nothing else. The calls made to and from the phone.
Well, what they have to do is they have to specify all that stuff. Okay,
Right,
which
like
means
I said, I never heard of a warrant that they had.
Well, they always do. Well, let's here we can look this up right this minute. All we have to do is get the Fourth Amendment. I mean, it's clear.
Okay, well, thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. I didn't know about the cloud thing, though, so I was misunderstanding the whole deal because of that.
Well, and then the thing about it is that that is what the Apple was trying to tell the FBI. They're trying to say you don't need to get into this cell phone. All the information that you're looking for is in the cloud.
A server in California. Can't we say that?
Well, because I don't know that it's a server in California.
Well, no, it's not an atmospheric cloud.
Well, it's basically what it is it's the backbone. It's what's called the backbone. It's the actual internet itself. Okay, so here we go. The Fourth Amendment of the Constitution, right, provides the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects. Okay? Persons, in their persons, in their houses. Hang on a second here. Let me get, shoot.
Close enough. You don't have to memorize it for us.
No. But the thing about it is I do want people to get this. Okay, this is what I'm interested in getting. Okay, here we go. Let me get the exact. Okay, here we go. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects. So, your papers and effects are clearly in your cell phone.
Correct.
This against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the person or thing to be seized. So in other words, what the FBI wanted to do was they wanted to engage in a fishing expedition for what might be on the cell phone. They don't get to do that. If they take your computer, they have to say, we think there is a ledger in here that hides money from the IRS. Anything else that's on that hard drive is not covered by that warrant. Anything that is uncovered by that by the search that isn't on the warrant is inadmissible in court. Okay, so these are the things that people have forgotten. These are the things that I'm such a pain in the butt about. Because I'll be perfectly honest with you, Robert. The FBI is a better law enforcement organization than all this. They don't need this. The NSA is not a law enforcement organization. They are a data entry place. They're an information brokerage. That's all they care about. They just care about the information. The FBI isn't a clearinghouse for information. The FBI is a law enforcement agency. They enforce the law, even the part of the law that makes it difficult for them to enforce the law. They have to enforce it. In fact, they swear an oath to do just that. And they've forgotten some parts of that oath, and it's very disturbing to me. This is the Wells Report.
You need a plan as you get closer to retirement. A plan that will take you from where you are now to the retirement that you've always dreamed about. The first step on that path is to tune into the Wealth Smart Radio Show, Sundays at 7 a.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
So did you hear the rumbling and the bumbling of that gigantic thunderstorm line that went past the other night? Well, guess what? Congressman Michael Burgess has a remedy, not for the weather, but for the effects of the weather. It is a readiness expo. It's coming up, and on the next edition of the Wells Report, you're going to hear the congressman tell you all about it right here on 660 AM The Answer. Don't miss it. Mark Davis, you incredible human being. Welcome to Hump Day. I did it again, didn't I? Anyway, coming up later on the Wells Report, we're going to have Congressman Michael Burgess. How about those storms last night, huh? Were they incredible or what? Anyway, that being said, you can be more ready for the next group of them if you go to Congressman Burgess's Readiness Expo. We're going to tell you the who, what, when, where, why, how next time on the Wells Report. Don't miss it.
You'll love. At the Ulrich website, mybarns.com, you'll see sheds, playhouses, garages, even log cabins. They do it all to make your property beautiful as you finally get to enjoy a place for everything and everything in its place. The place for the best barns and sheds is Ulrich Barn Builders at mybarns.com. Great prices, incredible selection, warranties to guarantee years of satisfaction. 3 generations of service, a family business for over 25 years, bringing the Mennonite tradition of quality and integrity to every barn or shed they provide. Is it time for a barn raising at your place? Beautiful styling, a solution to your clutter problems. Dream, relax, and enjoy the workmanship of Ulrich Barn Builders. See all they do at mybarns.com. That's mybarns.com.
Have you been holding out for a good deal to replace that old AC system? Well, now there's a new program you just can't pass up. I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. You may have already heard that you can save over $3,500 on a new Infinity system with Carrier's Cool Cash, but did you know that for a limited time, you can also get an additional $1,800 off from your utility provider? That's right. And when you combine these two programs, we're talking saving over $5,000 on a brand new AC system that can cut your electric bill in half. But the utility funds are limited, and the program will end when the money runs out. Right now, we're scheduling free estimates on a first-come, first-served basis. So call now. Better yet, call 2 other companies first, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Call 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437, or visit us online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
If you're suffering with sleep apnea, here's the breakthrough you've been dreaming about. Now you can finally travel and sleep in total comfort anywhere without having to drag around a big, bulky CPAP device. It's Transcend, the world's first portable mini CPAP device. And right now you can try Transcend and enjoy 10 nights of restful, blissful sleep absolutely risk-free. Call minicpap.com now, 1-800-900-6125. Transcend is as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound, giving you the freedom to sleep in total comfort anywhere you are. For even more freedom, you can add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. Transcend is so small and so light you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Now you can enjoy the freedom you've been dreaming about. The freedom to sleep comfortably everywhere. Call minicpap.com for your 10-night in-home trial. 1-800-900-6125. That's 1-800-900-6125.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis from my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. I love birthdays and anniversaries, always a time to celebrate, and they are celebrating 15 years at Abacus Foundation Repair. 15 years of serving North Texas. Now, this celebration is about to come to an end. People have been enjoying it too. You know what they've done? $1,000 off any foundation job with 10 or more pilings. And these are no ordinary pilings. We're talking about Millennium composite pilings for the strongest foundation solution. So call about that $1,000 off offer at 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000. Call Abacus first if you even think you got a foundation problem. Cracks in the sheetrock, doors that stick, 972-406-9000. Work is guaranteed. Certified foundation person on site at all times. You will be taken care of. 972-406-9000 or Abacus, A-B-A-C-U-S, Abacus Foundation Repair. The Abacus, little thing you can count on. Get it? You can count on Abacus. AbacusFoundationRepair.com, 972-406-9000.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Telephone number 866-660-5759. Sheriff Nick Finch let a pistol-packing man out of the Liberty County, Florida jail. It was a decision that led state authorities to charge Finch with a crime, but also made him a hero to a radical and growing movement among sheriffs across the country. It's a movement that doesn't just reject gun control, it encourages law enforcement officers to defy laws they decide are illegal. And it sometimes puts police on the same side as sovereign citizens, a fringe group the FBI considers one of the most serious domestic terrorism threats. Sovereign citizens are not terrorists. I'm shocked that anybody would. I don't know that the FBI actually considers them domestic terrorists. I'll have to double check. If so, that's unfortunate. On March 8th, 2013, one of Sheriff Finch's deputies pulled over a driver found a loaded pistol in his pocket. Carrying a concealed firearm without a license is a felony in Florida, so the deputy arrested the driver. Finch, however, ordered the driver released, and someone whited out his booking record. Finch later said he decided, I know what the law rules the day. I know what law rules the day, and it's the U.S. Constitution. Governor Rick Scott ordered Finch's suspension, but then a former Arizona sheriff named Richard Mack called, and a group that Mack heads, the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association, became engaged. Mack has referred to the federal government as the greatest threat we face today and describes his association, which states on its website it is supported by the John Birch Society and Gun Owners of America, as well as annual dues payments of $50 as, quote, the army to set our nation free, unquote. He said in an interview with CPI that he has grown the army by training more than 400 sheriffs how to interpret the Constitution and how to resist authorities and laws that violate it. Mack claims the dues-paying support of hundreds of the nation's more than 3,000 sheriffs and the sympathies of hundreds more. But it's hard to assess how many endorse the denunciation of the federal government as the corrupt and illegitimate enforcer of laws that trample on states' rights. Now, I'm going to say something here in the middle of this article that you need to be aware of. It's not just this group of sheriffs. 72% of Americans believe that the federal government is the biggest threat to this nation faces. This is NBC News writing the article, so therefore you would see the pro-government slant. But it is a slant. This isn't just some small potatoes thing. The American people have felt that their government is the biggest threat to their freedom and liberty. They've felt that way for the last 5 years. So what this whole article is an attempt to try to ally the sheriff's organization with the sovereign citizens movement. They're trying to say that these sheriffs are basically just one step away from a domestic terrorist organization. Why are they trying to do that? Well, they're trying to do that because they want you to try to believe it. They want to get you to believe that so that you think that these people are kooks. When in reality, once again, this is another case of the mainstream media doing its dead level best to get you to misinterpret just about everything having to do with your freedom and liberty. This is the Wells Report.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis for my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. I love birthdays and anniversaries, always a time to celebrate, and they are celebrating 15 years at Abacus Foundation Repair, 15 years of serving North Texas. Now, this celebration is about to come to an end. People have been enjoying it too. You know what they've done? $1,000 off any foundation job with 10 or more pilings. And these are no ordinary pilings. We're talking about Millennium composite pilings for the strongest foundation solution. So call about that $1,000 off offer at 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000. Call Abacus first if you even think you got a foundation problem. Cracks in the sheetrock, doors that stick, 972-406-9000. Work is guaranteed. Certified foundation person on site at all times. You will be taken care of. 972-406-9000 or Abacus, ABACUS Abacus Foundation Repair. The Abacus, little thing you can count on. Get it? You can count on Abacus. AbacusFoundationRepair.com, 972-406-9000.
You know, I'm not a genius about money. I love my credit cards, and they love me. I was using them as a source of income, and then I got behind in my payments, and creditors were calling. I figured I had a problem, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I heard about Trinity, so I called and talked to a counselor. In half an hour, we worked out a plan. Now I've got one easy monthly payment, a lower interest rate, and I'm getting out of debt.
If you're in an endless cycle of paying on credit card balances that never seem to go away, then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity will consolidate your accounts, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Call 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976. Call 1-800-990-6976.
Warning: if you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-700-2844. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible, without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-700-2844. That's 1-800-700-2844. 1-800-700-2844.
Hi, I'm Carl Deichler, the CEO of Beachbody, and I'm here to tell you about an amazing new way you can start losing weight for free right now. You've probably seen our workout DVDs on TV like P90X, Insanity, and 21 Day Fix. We just launched a beta trial of our new digital video platform, Beachbody On Demand. So while we're testing out this new digital video service, I'm inviting you to use it for free for 30 days. That means you can lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, even 30 pounds without paying a dime. Text the word PUSH to 313131, and you can do 30 days of P90X, Insanity, or any of over 400 workouts for free. Now, here's the catch. In return, all I ask is you let us know what you think of the service so we can make Beachbody On Demand the best fitness and weight loss site ever created. Just text PUSH to 313131 and get started for free right now. Again, text PUSH to 313131.
Message and data rates may apply. Membership fees apply after 30-day trial. Cancel anytime.
In Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 2, God says, "Write in a book all the words I've spoken to you." Is there a story in you today? Have you ever felt urged by God to write those words in a book? Zulon Press is the largest, most experienced Christian self-publisher in the world, and they're offering a free publishing guide at christianpublishingguide.com. They've helped thousands of people just like you tell their stories and touched thousands of lives.
Share your story and find out more today at 660amtheanswer.com. Visit 660amtheanswer.com now.
Looking for a way for you and your family to enjoy the beautiful spring weather this weekend? Then head to the H2Grow Spring Living Festival in Mansfield on Saturday, April 23rd. Held at the Mansfield Service Center on 620 South Wisteria from 10 to 4 p.m. Come check out do-it-yourself presentations, including one by the Dirt Doctor himself, Howard Garrett. There's no better way to celebrate spring than at the H2Grow Festival. Crafts, kids activities, fishing derby, and even a plant sale. So come out this Saturday to the Mansfield Service Center on 620 South Wisteria for the H2Grow Spring Living Festival.
660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report, a daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. As you know, we do our very dead level best to give you complete and accurate data on this broadcast. And if we make a mistake, we fix it. Okay. We got a call regarding a statement that I made that said that in reality, most police officers will ask to search your car, but they don't have to. And someone called us on the telephone and said, that's not right. That's not right. Let me give you this whole thing here. Okay? The Fourth Amendment protects us from unreasonable search and seizure. The Fourth Amendment, generally understood, protects you from unreasonable search and seizure. The Supreme Court looked into a number of cases involving Fourth Amendment rights and warrantless searches. In most cases, the officer can conduct a search if they have probable cause to do so. This is essentially a hunch backed up by reasonable suspicion. There may be something in your behavior, your physical appearance, the physical appearance of your vehicle that would prompt an officer to search. For example, you might have been pulled over because you were driving erratically. However, a smell coming from the car or sign of slow reflexes on your part may have indicated you're using some type of drug or alcohol. If the officer decided to search your car from the glove box to the trunk, based on the suspicion that you are using and possibly transporting an illegal substance, that would be probable cause. Other cases involving search and seizures of cars have involved plain view standard and the right of police to search passenger belongings found in a car. In Schimmel versus California, the court held the police may search the person and all areas under a person's control or reach. Anything in plain view can be seized. This standard includes car searches, Wyoming versus Houghton. The court ruled that if the officer has probable cause to search the car, they can also inspect the passenger's belongings. The idea is the item, a purse, for example, might conceal the object of an officer's search. The same reasoning can be applied to the case of a trunk. It would be in control of the car's driver and barring some unusual circumstance within his or her reach. A trunk usually conceals its contents, so an officer may look there if there is a belief that what he is searching for might be in the trunk. Another point on law enforcement's side is that cars, listen carefully, another point on law enforcement's side is that cars are generally exempted from the advanced warrant requirement because of their mobile nature. That gives them license to conduct warrantless searches of cars. An officer only has to meet the probable cause standard in most instances. This is relatively easy to do. Proving that an officer did not have probable cause is much more difficult and only has succeeded in a few cases. Most of the cases have involved racial profiling of some type, lack of consent, or a small exemption in the public's favor, traffic violations. The Supreme Court ruled in Knowles versus Iowa that police cannot search a driver or a passenger after ticketing them for routine traffic violations. In its decision, the court said the traffic violation is not an arrest. Police officers' ability to conduct searches is limited, so you would not have to be in their custody. The probable cause argument is diluted in this case. Ticketing for you for turning right on a red light does not give the officer probable cause to search your car. Traffic violations are not inherently connected to any other criminal activity. This voids a claim of reasonable suspicion on the officer's part. So here's the point. What I'm saying is that cars are generally accepted from the advanced warrant requirement because of their mobile nature. That gives them police officers, license to conduct warrantless searches of cars. All they have to do is meet the probable cause standard. It's your word against his that you were weaving down the road. He was weaving down the road. I was looking for drugs. You're never going to prove that case. Remember, the Fourth Amendment protects you from unreasonable searches and seizures. In the Apple case, the information, and Apple knew that the information the police were asking for, the FBI was asking for, was in the cloud the whole time. But that's not what the FBI wanted. The FBI wanted to get into the phone directly, which took the case from a reasonable accommodation, which is the information that you're looking for, into an unreasonable accommodation, which is getting into the phone and having a key to do so with any cell phone, with any iPhone, for example. It's about reasonable. A reasonable person might assume that. Okay? So in point of fact, you need to keep in mind that cars are generally accepted from the advance warrant requirement. All a police officer has to do is provide probable cause, which is simple. Okay? You're welcome. So my statement that they really don't need a warrant, they don't really need your permission, that is a truth. Getting back to this article regarding the police, regarding the sheriffs. This guy is doing his best to try to teach people about this very topic that we're discussing. Now, you have to keep in mind, as this article is from NBC, that it has been written to essentially mock these people. But you've got to ask yourself a question. Why is it that the press, the only press in the world, in fact, that is given a constitutional requirement to report the news against an uncooperative government, would then do their absolute dead level best to besmirch people that were trying to support the Constitution? But this willingness of the media to warp and distort is a threat to this republic. I'm not asking that news organizations be in a situation where they are chilled from reporting the truth. I am suggesting that news organizations should be chilled from reporting a lie. In other words, don't print news that isn't news. Print news that is true. And if you're not able to prove that it's true, then you don't print it, or you face the consequences for printing something that isn't true. For example, Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz has 5 mistresses, so says the National Enquirer. According to laws that used to be in place, they had better be able to prove that that is indeed truth. If they can't prove it's truth, then that's about $100,000 fine per offense. So somebody owes Ted Cruz $500,000. But whenever you bring that up, somebody says, "My God, he wants to control the press." No, that's not what he wants at all. But if you're going to print something, if you're going to make something public, it better be truthful, because if it isn't truthful, you're going to get your butt kicked. To be able to print something that isn't true with impunity, that's not the news. But that's indeed where we are here. Dozens of sheriffs around the country, including John Hanlon, the sheriff of Douglas County, Oregon, the site of last October's mass shootings of 8 students and a professor at Umpqua Community College, joined Mack in an aggressive letter-writing campaign to the White House after the 2012 Sandy Hook shooting, in which they vowed not to enforce any federal laws that tightened gun restrictions. After the armed standoff at the Malheur Wildlife Refuge earlier this year, Mack traveled repeatedly to Oregon, appearing at high schools and fairgrounds and giving interviews in which he criticized federal authorities. He also promised to help elect new sheriffs in the region who share his views. Gun laws are a focus of his ire, but federal lands restrictions and tax laws have also been in his sights. I have lived in Western America. The Bureau of Land Management is all powerful and they abuse their authority. Public lands are just that. They are public lands. But the Bureau of Land Management will demand why you're out there on public lands. And if you can't give them an answer, they'll either cite you for being out there on public lands, or they'll order you to leave. And then they'll cite you if you don't. That is wrong. After Sheriff Finch's suspension, Mack organized a fundraiser in nearby Panama City, brought in Stuart Rhodes, head of the citizens militia group known as the Oath Keepers, the same group that made headlines last August for patrolling the streets of Ferguson, Missouri with guns. Sympathizers created a Facebook support page for Finch. Online commentators expressed outrage at what they called an unconstitutional attempt by the state to interfere with his support for gun rights. During Finch's boisterous trial in October of 2013, he was joined in the Liberty County courtroom by Mack, several other Florida sheriffs, and dozens of new supporters. The sheriff had to admonish the crowd not to laugh as the state presented its case against Finch. And in the end, the jury acquitted him of misconduct and falsification of records. Now, in this particular case, remember, you know, the part of letting this guy go involved altering an official record with whiteout. Somebody should have gotten in trouble for that. It's not a felony, but somebody should have been at least fined for falsifying a record. He was reinstated as sheriff, later granted back pay as well as attorney fees of more than $160,000. He is still the sheriff of Liberty County. My dear friends, we have rights and we have freedoms and liberties that we will lose if we choose to surrender them. What we have found is a willingness among mostly federal officials to allow you to give up your freedoms and liberties and move forward as if you never had them to begin with. In point of fact, as they are your employees, regardless of your willingness to deal them away, your rights cannot be dealt away, not even if it makes a law enforcement officer's job easier. We, the people of the United States, are 99.985% law-abiding citizens. We, by and large, follow the rules, and for that reason, we are granted the benefit of the doubt. Which means that, as far as most people are concerned, probable cause is not benefit of the doubt. It's the exact opposite, in fact. Which is why police officers often ask if they can search your car, but they really don't need to. Food for thought. This is the Wells Report.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friend Josh DeShong. The real estate world of Josh DeShong sells houses when others cannot. I am living proof. Lisa and I are so thrilled with Josh. He came in and sold our house with blinding speed. You want a promise. You want somebody who's going to sit down with you and say, I promise to sell your house. Most folks won't do this. Josh will. His website is getsold.net, and he is telling you your house will get sold. How does he do this? Well, you call him at the number I'm about to give you. He sits down with you and says, let's arrive at an agreed upon price and an agreed upon time frame. If that house of yours does not sell at that price in that time frame, he, Josh DeShong, simply buys your house. That's it. You're out. You're at closing. You move on. So call him and call him today. Don't waste a day. 972-325-6644. 972-325-6644. D Magazine Best Realtor 3 years in a row. I'll love him forever. Josh Deshawn, getsold.net. 972-325-6644.
Why are so many people turning to the Nutrimost system at Fat Loss DFW? I'll let my buddy Nick tell you.
Well, first of all, I've lost weight.
Yeah, you have.
31 pounds. Heather, I know you lost 36 pounds.
I have, and I did.
And that's awesome. But here's the best part. When you're done with the 40-day program, you're not taking supplements. You're not eating protein bars. Forget that packaged food.
Ugh, packaged food. What is that stuff anyway, dude?
I don't think it's food. And you don't have to eat it with Fat Loss DFW because their program works.
I'm Dr. Jimmy from Fat Loss DFW, and I love hearing things like this. People lose the weight, they lose the fat, they keep it off, and there is no weird maintenance program afterward. When you're done, you're done. You're lean, you're mean, you're healthy for life.
I'm telling you it works. So here's what you need to do. Make the decision right now to make the change. Pick up the phone, dial 844-801-THIN, 844-801-THIN, or go to the web. Look up fatlossdfw.com now.
All right, listen up, because this is the most important thing you're going to hear all day. What if I said you could make money flipping houses without any cash, credit, or manual labor? And what if I said you could do it part-time from the comfort of your home? Sound unflippin' believable? Hi, I'm Preston Neely, and I'm going to prove it by sending you a free copy of my smash hit selling book, How to Get Rich in Real Estate. It sells online for $19.95, but I'm giving away free copies this week. To get one before they're gone, call 1-800-300-1445. I used to be so broke. I had my electricity shut off 9 times, but I figured out a simple way to make money flipping houses without even breaking a sweat. Now I'm living the good life, and so should you. Listen, if you're sick and tired of stressing about money, this book could change your life. Hands down, it's the fastest, easiest way to get started in real estate. Let me prove it. Call right now to find out how to get your free book. When they're gone, they're gone. Call 1-800-300-1445. 1-800-300-1445.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-1902. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-400-1902. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-1902. 1-800-400-1902.
Do you suffer from painful orthopedic problems from your hips, knees, shoulders, feet, or ankles? Or spinal disc injuries that have not improved after non-surgical treatment? Stem cell therapy is an innovative way to use your body's own stem cells to treat chronic painful problems. And now this pain-relieving therapy is available at Premier Stem Cell Institute in Dallas. For information, visit premierstemcellinstitute.com or call 866-647-9405. That's 866-647-9405.
Welcome to Staples.
Hey, Staples guy, I'm opening a business next door.
Well, welcome to the neighborhood. You know, Staples can print custom signs and banners to help get the word out.
Great, but I gotta watch every dime.
We have low prices every day. And with Staples Price Match Guarantee, you can always get the lowest price.
Perfect.
So when's the grand opening?
Yesterday.
I had no idea.
Neither did anyone else.
Trust Staples for low prices every day. Staples, make more happen. Price match good at checkout for items from retailers operating online in retail stores or products sold and shipped by Amazon. See store at staples.com for details.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM. The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. A Douglas County school district in Douglas County, Colorado, has a director of safety and security. His name is Rich Payne. He has decided to arm his security force with 10 semi-automatic Bushmaster AR-15 rifles. For $12,300, he's been able to set them up. They will be used by trained security officers, will not be stored on school grounds. Instead, they will be kept locked up in patrol vehicles. They'll be deployed into a locking mechanism that is inside the vehicles, and they will only be deployed if there is a situation where they need to be deployed, so said Rich Payne. The armed security officers are former law enforcement officers who train side by side with the local sheriff's office. Each officer must complete special training before using one of the new weapons. Payne said other rural districts are considering similar moves. Our main focus is to make sure that all the students, staff, parents, and community members are safe when they're at any of our school properties. Isn't it strange that someone would say, thank goodness somebody's there with a rifle? Oh, it's not strange? You're right. It's not strange at all. The executive producer of the Wells Report is Vicki Steifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is Jon-David Wells. Have a wonderful evening. See you again tomorrow for another edition of the Wells Report.
Hey, everybody, Mark Davis. I spend a lot of time talking to people about their political passions. We make that clear through various things, voting, contributing. Did you know that you are contributing to Hillary with your cell phone bill? Could be. If you're in bed with Big Mobile, you are contributing to Hillary because they are. Can you find a conservative cell phone company? Sure can. Meet Patriot Mobile. In the election of 2012, there were some liberal phone companies that targeted Tea Party members of Congress, and they took some of them down. Patriot Mobile wanted to do something on the other side, a conservative cell phone company with the same quality of service, better prices, supporting better causes. And right now, you got a free Apple iPhone 6 waiting for you with a $60 a month unlimited talk text data plan. $45 a month gets you a free Apple iPhone 5C or Samsung Galaxy S4. Support better causes. Get the same quality of service. Buy out of your current contract. Keep your same phone number. Patriot Mobile. 1-800-A-PATRIOT or patriotmobile.com. Come on. Join the revolution. Join Patriot Mobile today. 1-800-A-PATRIOT or patriotmobile.com.
If you're considering going back to school, ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 100 highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You'll earn the same degree as you would on campus, from wherever you are, on your schedule. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits. For information, call 1-800-709-2636. Learn for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates, and why 90% of ASU grads are recruited within 90 days of graduation. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona State University. To learn more about ASU online degrees, call 1-800-709-2636. That's 1-800-709-2636.
The year is not so new anymore, but your carpets can look that way with Zero Res. Hey, Mark Davis, my friends at Zero Res just gave me a fantastic carpet cleaning, and I'm offering it to you. $33 a room. $33 a room by calling 214-37-CLEAN. Then, plus 100 square feet of tile cleaning for free and a $50 gift card from Estilo Gaucho. It is pre-treated, clean, and sanitized. Best carpet cleaning ever from my friends at Zero Res. $33 a room. Call them now for the special. 214-37-CLEAN for Zero Res. 214-37-CLEAN.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. New York voters awarding wins Tuesday to Republican Donald Trump and Democrat Hillary Clinton. Trump continuing his claims that the GOP delegate system is rigged.
It's a crooked system. It's a system that's rigged, and we're going to go back to the old way. It's called you vote and you win.
Next Tuesday, 5 more states hold primaries. Flooding still creating some treacherous driving conditions in Texas.
Highway 6 is closed. Grand Parkway is closed.
Harris County, Texas Judge Ed Emmett, where roughly 1,000 homes have been destroyed, 7 deaths blamed on the flooding. More than a foot of rain has fallen in some areas. McDonald's testing bigger and smaller versions of its Big Mac as the world's biggest hamburger chain pushes to revive its business. The company says it's testing a Grand Mac and Mac Jr. in the central Ohio and Dallas areas, and they'll see how they do before deciding on a national rollout. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM The Answer. Listen on iHeartRadio.
How much of your life are you losing because of pain? I'm Dr. Chad Glines, DC at Genesis Back and Neck, and I really do want to give you your life back.
Hi, my name is Brenda. When I was at the most pain, I had been to 3 surgeons and 3 neurologists, and they told me that I could have a fulfilled life out of my wheelchair. When you have 3 doctors tell you you will never walk again, I had just about given up. He says, I'm pretty sure I can get you out of that wheelchair. I went, and my first appointment was